You're playing with controller. I hold it like this. Yeah, that's actually kind of loud. Hold on. Favor. Half it? Half it a bit more. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Hello everyone and welcome back to my stream. As you can see, I've been missing... Oh my god, that music. Oh my god, I missed this. See, I realized just how much I genuinely really like the old Zelda games. And this game got, like, kind of came up at some point. I'm pretty sure Marco showed it to me, or someone on the Discord. And it's always kind of been in the back of my mind. It's like, so this is a fan game of Ocarina of Time, or using Ocarina of Time, to create a Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney law game inside Legend of Zelda. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started then, because I'm actually super intrigued. I'm hoping that this is a single game stream, or a single stream game, just so we don't have to like spend super long time over on it. This game auto saves after every scene. Do not turn off your console during the stream transitions. Sure thing. It's so quiet. Do you think they forgot? Forget a royal visitation? No one would ever make such a blunder, princess. Princess. Well, I guess I should just go in then. Holy shit! Was that the Malon song? Turned into like a freaking stinger? God, the same freaking font noises as well? Okay, damn. They also updated Zelda's model, so she's a little more, I don't know, a little cleaner, I guess, or I don't know. I need to look at it again to say for sure. March 20, freaking, I can't, I gotta get back into reading. March 17th, 9 o'clock, 37 a.m. Hyrule Grand Court Defendant Lobby number 3. Holy shit. You'd think after so many years of doing this, I'd get used to the stress. Oh my god, attorney's badge! Oh my god, they actually... Oh my god, okay. Attorney's badge. Proof that I can stand in court as an attorney. Yep. It's actually so cool. This is actually within Ocarina of Time, right? It's not a completely, like, fresh new game. Like, I had to patch Ocarina of Time to get this all to work. So it's so interesting to see that they've added, like, menus of Ace Attorney in this. It's so cool. Oh my god. So Malon, age 27. That is way higher than I thought it would be, but okay, so is this going to be set in the future of the regular Ocarina of Time? Maybe. My longtime friend and the defendant in this case. Talon, deceased. The victim, owner of Lon Lon Ranch and Malon's loving father. So she's been accused of committing the crime against her father. And Zelda was the one who found the body. So she's probably gonna be the witness. Interesting. So the music actually... Did it? Okay, no. It might just be... Oh no, wait. It does kind of fade out when you're in the court record. Okay. That kind of does happen in Ocarina of Time as well, in certain scenarios. Oh god, give me a moment. Sorry, I don't like pausing like so much, but like things happen in real life. I gotta like. All right. So why am I shaking? I was thinking of doing the friggin' classic Link's voice clips constantly for everything he says, but I assumed that that would be very old very quick, like, you know, just going, yeah, ah, yeah, you know, like it works for like a couple lines, but let's be serious. Let's take this seriously. Yeah, I guess it'd be a lot worse if it was your friend's life on the line. Come on, gotta look professional. She can't see you like this. Speaking of her, though, where is she anyway? Okay, so that's history. Hey, you, over there! Huh? What is it, attorney? The trial isn't starting yet. But it will be soon, right? Wouldn't you happen to know why my client isn't here yet? I didn't get to speak with her much with her since she got arrested, so I was hoping I could at least exchange a word with her now. Well, weren't you weren't the only one with the idea. I believe she's currently in the prosecutor's lobby. I wanted to speak to her as well. He wanted to speak to her as well. What? What is up with this guy? He bars me from the crime scene, blocks my detention center visits, and now this? Yeah, Kong Fighters, hello. Not to worry, she'll definitely be here before the trial. Great, that'll be a joyous 5 minutes indeed. There's nothing I can do but wait. I mean, you can lodge a formal complaint, I'm sure. No, Link's not capable of doing that. Sometime later. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. How much longer is he gonna keep her? See? There she is. No need to get all worked up. Is something wrong? Did I hear shouting? So much for looking professional. It's the friggin' actual, like, models as well. That's... It's so cool. I'm wondering how much of this is gonna be super custom. I'm assuming all of it, right? Like they're gonna have custom sprites, custom character animations. I'm wondering how deep this game is gonna go as well. Since Ace Attorney has like investigation stuff in it, I'm assuming this is gonna be a single trial and that's gonna be it, right? No, don't worry. Everything's fine. This is Malin. Ever since we first met in Hyrule Castletown all those years ago, we've been great friends. Her heart's in the right place. I know she cared deeply about her father. If everything's fine, why do you look so worried? Well... How did the investigation go? Did you find anything? Yes, the investigation, I've found tons of groundbreaking stuff. Particularly that my opponent's a real scumbag. What did the prosecutor want from you anyway? Well, it was mostly just threats. He kept explaining in detail what'll happen to me if I'm found guilty. Doesn't sound like a vital discussion that needed to happen right before the trial. He probably did that so he wouldn't have much time to talk. You believe me, right? I didn't do it. I'd never. Well, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be hero. I am the hero. I'm the video game boy. Of course I believe you. Although I'll be honest, things aren't looking very good right now. What's that you got there? Oh, this is just a pictograph of my father and I carry around. Pictograph mention. Oh my god. I thought they were like mascots in like a theme park or something for a moment there. I don't know. So I'm assuming that, yeah. What's his name? Igor? And Luigi of the ranch. I can't remember what his name is now. But I'm assuming he's gonna like play a part into this. I just can't believe he's gone. I wish I knew how to cheer her up right now. I'm not very good at handling emotional clients. Hey, you know, the pictograph could be really useful to the trial. Oh, how so? Well, look, you look so happy together. I can present it to show that you two had a great relationship. You really think so? Ah, well, here you go then. I wonder what's gonna, like, he said, like, she said that the prosecutor explained in excruciating detail what's gonna happen when she's declared guilty. So is the punishment gonna be, like, execution? By what I'm assuming is Ganon. I've seen who the prosecution is. As you can see down there as well, I've seen pictures of Ganon existing as the prosecutor, so yeah. So Malin's pictograph added to the court record. At least I'll be walking in there with something other than my badge. Yeah, well, what I'm seeing here is that there's 2 horses. The ranch from far away. Well, this is actually like an old picture of them, right? She's tiny, Malin. There we go. I'm just trying to like get the buttons properly. So, childhood photo of Malin with her father. But wait, we shouldn't just be idly chatting. Anyway, there's not much time left. I know it's hard to talk about, but could you tell me what actually happened? I don't stand much of a chance if I don't know your version of the story. I understand. Unfortunately, there's not really much. The trial is starting. Defendant attorney, please enter the courtroom at once. Uh-oh, I shouldn't have said that stuff about having no chance. Alright, everything will be fine. The prosecutor's been playing me for a fool since this began. But sooner or later, his arrogance will be on his undoing. Let's head inside. Alright. My name is Link, and I've been a defense attorney for the last 7 years. I won my fair share of cases, and lost some too. This one's personal. There's so much at stake here. Not only do I have to save Balin's life, I gotta find out who did this to Talon. Talon, he was always so kind. He didn't deserve this. I need to do him justice. I can't lose this. Man. The court is now in session for the trial of Malin at Lon Lon Ranch. God. It's wild because the only Ace Attorney game that I streamed was the Great Ace Attorney games. Because I hadn't played those. I've played every other Ace Attorney game, so it's wild to get my voices back into this. Anyway. Yeah! God, freaking desk sprites and everything. The defense is ready, Your Honor. I sincerely doubt that. Dragmire? What are they thinking, putting me against some pathetic kid? So it's not Ganon? It looks very much like Ganon. Pathetic kid? What gives you the right to... Still your tongue. You bring shame upon the fine color of your hair, vile woman. We have you yet? Ganondorf is Ganondorf. His last name's Dragmire. Okay. Fucking drag queen. Prosecutor assigned to the case, rude to others, easily angered. And we've also got the judge, jolly old man who presides over some of my cases. Okay.
Before long, the world shall know the horrible deeds you've committed.
I love the freaking animations.
Let us not prolong the inevitable. Shall we begin? Now, this court is no place for exchanging insults. Since the prosecution seems ready as well, let's hear the opening statement. The opening statement shall be the closing one.
It's sausage finger right back there.
The girl did it. It's obvious. She killed her own father in cold blood. All so she could have the ranch to herself. Couldn't wait for the old fool to die, so naturally he couldn't wait for the old dude to die naturally, could you greedy little rat?
Oh, there's one of the freaking characters from Spirited Tracks. The freaking Kurt people. I don't know. I can't remember what they're called, but it's the ones with antlers and shit. Cool.
Your Honor, you can't allow this man to verbally abuse the defendant like this.
Oh! Wow. Is that a Japanese objection? Alright.
Ha! She committed murder, kid. She deserves every bit of scorn she gets. I do believe that a little less commentary wouldn't go amiss. Bah! I assure you, old man, you will change your opinion once you see the damning evidence.
Who is this guy? How can he speak to the judge like that?
Ganondorf Dragmire. Looks like I've been lucky enough to avoid meeting this man until now. The stories I've heard about him must be true. A boorish barbarian, but of a man hailing from the Gerudo province. Apparently he prides himself in nearly clean streak he's cultivated for decades. All while disrespecting everyone in court, including the judge.
Look at that sausage finger. Like they actually had to add it because the characters don't open their hands at all.
I've even heard of some attorneys refer to him as the King of Evil.
It's the same freaking animations for Phoenix as well. That's great. Oh, I love it.
Definitely has that look, at the very least.
Who wears full armor to court?
Very well, please present your case to the court. You don't seem to like me talking, so I'll just let the detective at present present the basics. Bring Impa of the Sheikah Force to the stand.
So Impa's the detective.
Well, here we go. The first battle. I know Impa. She's quite a competent detective. Which worries me. Please let her have made a mistake just this once.
Why the okay. She's wearing a fucking trench coat and a bowler hat? Really? Okay.
Alright, state your name and whatever it is you pretend to do.
You never change, do you, prosecutor?
Any possible change would be for the worse. Now stop wasting time! Name and occupation.
Oh, man.
Very well. I am Impa, head detective of the Sheikah Force, Homicide Division.
True for now, at least. Well, what are you waiting for? Start talking!
Hold on, we got new character. God, that outfit is just weird. I'm gonna be honest. It needs to grow on me, I think, before I say I like it. 34, Impa, head of the detectives assigned to investigate this case.
You were the one assigned to this case, so you know all about it. What calamity has befallen our fair kingdom?
Is that it? Is that calamity?
Still can't be bothered to give a proper opening statement. I suppose I could do the prosecutor's job for him this time.
for the sake of the unbiased look.
Please go ahead, Detective.
The incident happened early yesterday morning at Lon Ranch, a local supplier of goods located just south of the castle town. The current owner of the homestead, Talon, was found dead in his ranch house.
A tragic loss for our kingdom, to be sure. I've seen this man around Castletown a number of times delivering goods.
Ah, the music. Like a mix of the Persian shop music, I think. Or is it the... I don't know exactly what the name of it is, but it's like mixed. I like it. Quite. The owner was a rather important figure in the local community. In any case, we were alerted to the scene of the murder by the Royal Guards, who were there on official business.
Official business? What kind?
As I understand, the ranch provides the kingdom with vital services. To ensure it is operating as it should, and as a gesture of appreciation, the Crown orders a visitation to the ranch every year.
I see. A scheduled annual visit. Continue, Detective.
When the Sheikah force arrived, they found the victim bleeding out onto the floor. Next to him lay his daughter, Malin, breathing but unresponsive. After a thorough investigation, we arrested her, as she was deemed as the only possible culprit. That about covers the gist of what happened.
Very nice and succinct. Keep up with that, and perhaps you will keep your job.
Damn.
Oh, I don't think the good detective will have much to worry about, given that she's the head of the department. Which reminds me, why is the head of detectives herself on a case like this? Were the other detectives unavailable?
That would be because I have been assigned to this case by order of the King of Hyrule himself.
The king himself assigned you? But that doesn't happen very often, does it?
You are correct, Your Honor. I am not usually involved with fieldwork like this. This time, however, the king felt it necessary because of who is involved.
Who is involved? Is the death of the ranch worker really a concern of the king?
Well, as I said, Lon Ranch is a very important supplier of goods, to be sure. But that's not who I meant. You got a fucking knife on the stand.
She's talking about Zelda, obviously.
I imagine the king wanted the top investigators of the job because it was the royal princess herself who discovered the crime scene.
Order! I will have order! The royal princess Zelda witnessed the crime? Ha! And there you have it. This case rides on the princess's own words. No, to doubt it would be to doubt your own royalty.
This is bad. I can't really object to that.
Very well. If the princess is testifying today, why don't we make it... We better not make her needlessly wait. Detective, please testify exactly why the defendant was arrested.
Okay. I'm assuming we're going to be going for getting more information during this. Is that supposed to be like, I didn't press forward for this. I don't know what the testimony said it was going to be, but... Is that... It's not Japanese, actually, is it? It's actually, like, Zelda language. Like the kind of hieroglyphs that you see in the game. Alright, that's actually kind of cool if it is. The testimony. It is with the regret that I agree with Dragmire. All evidence points towards the girl being the culprit. We determined that the murder definitely took place inside the ranch house. Fuck. I had to concentrate here. There are only 3 people on the ranch. The victim, the defendant, and a worker who has an alibi for the time of the crime. The defendant was found unconscious right there in front of the victim, who was bleeding out on the floor. Furthermore, she was holding a weapon. Without a doubt, that's what was used to kill the victim. She seems like such a bright girl. It is most unfortunate. Wow, that's very freaking vague on the details. Your Honor, I would like to submit these pieces of evidence to the court. First, I have an autopsy report performed by the Crown's top coroner. Autopsy report added to the court record. Here is what we've determined to be the murder weapon, which we took from the defendant's hands. The saw, right? Yeah. It's one of the trade items, I believe. To make sure that we had the correct weapon, we conducted a very thorough investigation. Naturally, we searched everyone and thoroughly examined the ranch and its vicinity. Nothing unusual was found, but to be safe, we also checked the ranch's inventory list to see whether anything was missing. The list matches the items we found on the ranch exactly. Nothing but the saw had fresh blood on it. Alright, we got a bunch of items. Let's take a look-see there. That does sound quite compelling. Alright, let's take a quick look. So, autopsy report. Deep, irregular wound made with a sharp metal object. Victim died from blood loss. From loss of blood no later than 8 a.m. Saw. Supposed murder weapon. Found in Malin's hands. Clean of blood. It's a bit interesting. Why is it clean? Wrench inventory. A list of... Wait. If it's clean, then why is it the only thing that she said that had blood on it? A list of equipment on the ranch. Press A for details. Nice. Okay, so Ingo, that's his name. Date, 15th of March. So we got rakes, 4-piece. Or 4 rakes, I'm guessing. 4 garden hose, 8 buckets, 2 hammers, 6 knives, 1 wooden saws. S there is kind of important, not useful, is it? I'm guessing that's what PC is. Got 8 saddles, 28 horseshoes, 3 axes, and 2 brooms. Well, we got 6 knives that are around, apparently. We also got scythes, shovels, flails, droves, post pounders, drag howers, water hoses, wheelbarrows, horse carts, towing harnesses, cow nose rings. Okay. That does sound quite compelling. Is there a... No, Zelda's not in here yet. This must have been truly frightening, terrifying scene. Dying from a wound made by that weapon like this is extremely painful. This only helps prove the defendant's viciousness. At this rate, they're gonna paint Malin as some heartless monster. There's one more thing I feel I should mention for the sake of completeness. Shortly after we arrived at the ranch, a courier showed up to take some milk shipments. Of course, business must go on. Is it really necessary to enter into the evidence, though? The shipments did end up leaving the ranch, so I feel like it bears mentioning. Were the contents checked before you let them go? Naturally. Who do you take us for? Even though the worker was handling the shipments did get quite worked up about it, we checked all the boxes, opened to check what was inside. In the end, it turned out to only be milk bottles, so we let them through. Very well. Thank you for your thoroughness, Detective. Interesting.
So, what happens now?
Well, this is where I step in and perform a cross-examination.
Ah, great. How does that work?
Ah.
Could you explain what you're going to be doing?
Enter to go over this again. Let's see how this game tutorializes me.
The witness will repeat her testimony. I'll be able to scroll back and forth through individual statements by pressing A and B, or with the directional or analog stick.
They'll just
just repeat it as many times as you want? That's right. I have to consider every little detail. Can't miss a thing. But if I want more detailed info about something, I can use L or Z to press the statement and ask the witness a question. Grill them for info. Yep. Since the witness has to come up with an answer on the spot, if they're lying, prompting for more info can make him slip up. Most importantly, though, I can find something that doesn't line up with the evidence. If I find something that doesn't line up with the evidence, I can press R and bring up the court record. Court record is basically a list of all the evidence, right? Yes! I can open it at any time and recheck the facts. After choosing the contradicting item, I can press up to raise an objection and present my doubts to the court. Oh, and I can not only present evidence, but profiles as well. Profiles? The court record contains a list of all people involved, too. I can switch between evidence and profiles with R.
Okay, so profiles are a part of this. Okay.
If I need to review what I've said recently, I can also press start to see the history of messages. Ah, I see. That makes sense.
So it's all pretty much the same.
What is it? Is the defense done whispering? Sorry. He's so upset about it. Why doesn't he just press...
Okay. Press to skip ahead.
The defense is ready to cross-examine the witness. Bah! A waste of time.
I sincerely hope you're not implying the standard court procedure is a waste of time, Mr. Dragmire. In any case, we are ready, defense. Please begin with a cross-examination. Alright, we're going for information here. I mean, the clear problem is that the sore is completely clean. Oh my god, look at that. The reason for arrest. Damn, I love these. I love it. It's so good. Okay, so we got 6 statements. I'm not sure what we press the saw onto. I guess it's like if she ever says anything like this. The saw has to be the murder weapon since it was covered in blood or something like that.
Hey! Hold it! What makes you think that she's the culprit?
She was just about to tell you! Keep quiet and listen.
Right. Sorry.
Indeed, as I was saying. Okay, so just nothing. Murder definitely took place inside the ranch house.
Hold it! Just how did you do that?
It's quite simple. There was no blood found anywhere else. Had the victim been attacked some other location, I expect a trail of it to be leading to the scene.
Couldn't the killer just have cleaned it all up?
Certainly not. The path to the ranch house at Lon Lon Ranch is not paved in any way. Cleaning blood off the ground would be requires disturbing soil. Naturally, we found nothing of the sort. Bah! There should not be enough time to pull that off anyway.
Likely true.
Right. It sounds like the location of the crime scene is pretty firm, but I'm not giving up yet. Only 3 people on the ranch. What's the alibi?
3 people, you say? I guess that would have had to have been Mr. Ingo.
Let me stop you before you start getting excited. If you had listened to the rest of what the detective said, you'd notice she mentioned an alibi. Indeed, we're pretty certain that the ranch worker couldn't have been involved.
Well, what is the alibi then?
You might remember that I brought up some outgoing milk shipments. Well, the worker Ingo was in charge of them. He left the ranch house first thing in the morning and was busy preparing the shipments after that.
Is that so?
Surely he couldn't have gotten away from that one really quick little murder? Away from that for one really quick little murder. Bah! You wouldn't be just a quick little murder if you so cruelly put it. Yeah, he'd have to have taken steps to hide his involvement too. There's definitely not enough time for that. Unfortunately, I agree.
Preparing a shipment is a lot of work. You have to have all the milk and all the cows. You have to milk all the cows, clean all the bottles, pour the milk into them, arrange them all in the crates, and then finally load it all up onto a wagon. Usually I have to do it together with my father to finish it before the courier arrives.
The shipments are already ready when I've arrived at the ranch. When we checked the boxes, they were fully loaded with filled milk bottles.
So this Ingo was able to do the work of 2 people on its own? Isn't that a little odd?
I'm gonna probably speak a little more normal for Link, because it's gonna rip my throat apart speaking all of the voices, you know?
Odd or not, he evidently just did that. Clearly, this is a man dedicated to his job. Or perhaps the girl and her father are just very inefficient.
This whole thing seems awfully suspicious if you ask me. But I guess I don't have anything to dispute it with.
Info was found right in front of the victim, who was bleeding out on the floor.
Ella fainted?
Correct. We couldn't get her to wake up for a long time. Eventually, we decided to administer a healing fairy so she could be questioned.
Oh right, we got magic in here. Oh fuck, magic is gonna be a thing in this game. Oh god.
I guess finding the body was just a bit as much of a shock, huh?
Ha! Probably just pretending, trying to make it look like she merely found the body.
In any event.
Furthermore, she was holding a weapon without a doubt that was used to kill the victim.
And how can you be so sure of this?
Look at the autopsy report. Deep, irregular wounds made with a sharp metal object. He's fucking carrying it.
The saw was the only sharp implement in the ranch house that could produce such a wound. And as I've already mentioned, we've looked closely at all the other sharp things on the ranch. None of them had blood on them.
That still doesn't necessarily mean that the saw was the murder weapon. Maybe the real culprit hit the real one.
Oh yeah? Prove it then. Show us the real murder weapon.
Well, I definitely don't have any way to do that. Well, something bothers me about that saw.
Yep, this is the statement I need to put the saw on.
So you have nothing. What a waste of time.
Right girl, most unfortunate.
She sure is. We've known each other for years. Yet she murdered her father in cold blood. Interesting. Wait. How curious. Perhaps you're just as bad judges of character, both of you.
No way. Just give me some time and I'm going to prove it. You see anything wrong yet? Well, usually it's a bit difficult to see anything wrong with basic facts of the case. That said, I do think I saw one small thing.
Clever.
Really? That's great. Sure is. But I've got to poke holes in all I can find before the princess gets here.
So it's the 5th one. I present. How do I do this? That? There we go. Yeah.
Huh? Like a fairly large oversight. I want to make sure of something. The state the saw is currently in is how you found it at the crime scene.
That's correct.
That's strange, considering how much the victim bled out and how deep his wound was. Why is there no blood on the supposed murder weapon?
Ha! Is that all you have?
Huh?
Naturally, the prosecution has an explanation for why the saw is clean. Behold, this cloth was found in the defendant's other hand. Plainly see it is stained with blood. The defendant simply wiped the murder weapon in a futile attempt to hide her involvement.
Oh god, this is definitely gonna hurt.
Oh man.
Hold on, I gotta take a drink. Oh god. Okay.
If Malin was trying to hide her involvement, why didn't she just leave the crime scene?
Bah.
Obviously, she was trying to hide the body before the royal visitation arrived at the ranch. Unfortunately for her, it happened so that the delegation arrived a bit earlier than it's scheduled. In a panic, she quickly wiped the saw off and pretended to faint, making it look like she had stumbled upon the scene. Young lady, things are not looking very good for you right now. The god accepts the bloodied cough into evidence.
So what's the story with this cloth? Murderer. Murderer. Evil murderer.
Do we have a cloth here? We don't. So why isn't it stated here?
Well, I was doing a final check around the ranch when I noticed that a part of the fence around the horse paddock was damaged. Not entirely sure what happened, but sometimes one of the horses get a bit too rowdy, you know?
Right.
Anyway, I didn't want to bother Mr. Ingo about it, so I tried to cut up a new rail by myself to patch it up. And then the saw slipped and I cut my hand open.
Jesus. My goodness, you okay?
Well, it wasn't that bad. It did bleed quite a lot, though, so I used a cloth to quickly bandage the wound. I was actually going to go to the ranch house to ask Father to help me with the fence.
Ha! A likely story. And impossible to verify now, of course. The Sheikah Force had to use a fairy on the defendant to get her out of her supposed unconsciousness. I do have to give her some credit, she's one cunning woman. She knew that it would explain the sudden lack of any wound on her hand. Oh, quite. Yes, fairies are wonderful. Just the other day, I slammed my hand with the gavel, and one took the pain off immediately.
Great. Glad to know they're used for such important things. But dang it! Too bad there ain't no other way to tell whose blood is on the cloth.
I do believe the matter has been settled. Am I ready to call my next witness?
Uh-oh, is that all I can get out of her?
You served your purpose, Sheikah. Be gone!
Fine, but you had best treat Her Highness with respect, or I'll see it to it that you must spend a night in the dungeons.
Do not presume to threaten me, Sheikah. The night of darkness and solitude will be nothing but comfort for me.
Is that so? Then perhaps we should fill the dungeons with lit candles for the occasion.
They're glaring daggers at each other. If this doesn't end soon, we're all in trouble.
Order, order! I'm sure we can treat the princess with utmost respect. You may step down, detective. This case has already made me wary with all the pointless jabber. The time is ripe to deal the final blow. I call Her Highness Princess Zelda of Hyrule to stand.
Hi! Oh my god, she's so cute.
It's like they took, like, it's the hair specifically, like they've added the front bangs so she doesn't look like she's just got all her hair stuck backwards. And like, admittedly, it kind of did make her look baldish. She's not wearing her headdress as well, so like, it's really cool. I like it.
Is something the matter? Why is everyone so quiet all of a sudden?
Ah, Your Highness. I believe we were all a bit uncertain on how to proceed. It's quite an honor to have such an esteemed guest in these halls. Bah! The face of the law. The princess is no different from a peasant. Name an occupation. Now!
The prosecution will behave. I will not have any derogatory statements directed at the princess.
Derogatory? I simply wish to not waste any more time. We must employ proper procedure.
Oh, man. It is all right, Detective. I believe the prosecution does have a point. In the eyes of the law, we are all equals. On the stand, I am just another witness. I should not be getting any special treatment.
Very admirable, Your Highness. We can all rest easy knowing that Hyrule is destined to have such a wise monarch in the future. Yes, indeed. I eagerly await the day when our next ruler takes the throne and reshapes the kingdom to their image. Am I getting through what I am putting down?
You flatter me, prosecutor. Now then, I believe I was asked by my name and occupation. I am Zelda, current princess of Hyrule and heir to the apparent throne.
Marvelous, Your Highness. Before we begin, I would like to know, why were you at Lon Lon Ranch to witness this terrible incident? Only stated.
It's quite simple, really. Lon Lon Ranch is Hyrule Castle Town's biggest food supplier. Not only that, but the ranch also equips Hyrule Royal Guards with their finest horses. Every year, the royal family makes a visit as a gesture of goodwill and to ensure the quality of the steeds.
Wow, I didn't know your horses were used by the Royal Guards.
Yep! We work every day to make sure that they're in the best possible condition. Father loved to boast about it to the other ranch owners.
Knowing talent, I'm sure he did. How unfortunate that the ranch may no longer meet the Crown's high standards for new management. The royal family is quite a backup, I trust.
You're looking for one. Naturally, those standards are quite high.
Yes, of course. Now then, please describe what you saw on the day of incident.
Very well. Here I go.
Interesting that they are using Ace Attorney sounds in this as well. Clearly. It is a mixture. I kind of wish it wouldn't go by the title, but whatever.
I arrived at Lon Lon Ranch a little after 8 a.m., accompanied by my loyal guards.
8 a.m. is the death. Yep. No later than 8 a.m. So I'm assuming that we gotta like prove that she found the murder at 9 a.m. or something. I don't know. Maybe it's not important.
I remember being surprised at how quiet everything was. There was nobody there to welcome us. I could sense that something was wrong. I opened the door to the ranch house and went inside. The room was mostly empty. There was a table and some kind of crystal bottle on top of it. But in front of the table, a terrifying scene was unveiling. The defendant hacked at the ranch owner's chest with the saw she was holding. I was overcome with fear and I screamed. I'll never forget what I saw that day. I heard that Talon and his daughter were incredibly kind. I cannot believe that she would commit such a horrible violence.
Oh shit!
What?
Oh my! You saw the very moment the victim was killed?
Yeah, that's actually bullshit.
There you go. Decisive testimony. There's no need to doubt the princess's statements. I call for the judge to make a ruling right away.
Yeah! Hey now, hold on. I didn't get to cross-examine the witness yet.
You haven't, fool, because there's no need. Did you not hear the one word I said?
You literally just got done saying that she's not... Yeah. Can you just say we should follow all procedures and treat the princess like any other witness? This is the defense's right.
You complete.
Yeah, he noticed something was wrong, and that's why he's so, like, aggressive.
I believe the defense has a point. They do have every right to perform a cross-examination, no matter who is testifying.
I was quite looking forward to this part myself. I only have ever read about court proceedings in the Royal Library.
That being said, I will not tolerate any reckless accusation towards the princess. Is that clear?
Naturally, Your Honor. How am I going to be able to cross-examine the princess? This isn't going to end well. It's gotten into the prosecutor. He seems kind of rather intense outburst. Do have a guess. Oh? Because the princess's status, it's possible that Dragmire didn't have an opportunity to discuss her testimony with her. That might mean that this testimony is a surprise even to him. Could be my chance.
Before we begin, there might just be one thing that caught my attention. I believe the princess mentioned seeing some kind of glass bottle at the crime scene.
That would be this, I presume. Yes, that's exactly it.
What is that?
Oh, that's the bottle of perfume that my father intended to gift Her Highness when she arrived. He quickly rode out to town to get it the very last moment. We didn't know... Jesus. We didn't know that the princess was coming instead of the king until only about 2 hours before the visitation. Oh, how thoughtful. He really did not need to bother himself so.
What if he was killed outside of the ranch, delivered inside one of the milk carton boxes, and then when the shipments were sent out, the milk hid any blood that was at the bottom of the crates? That's my random guess.
He really did not need to bother himself so.
As fascinating as all this is, the prosecution doesn't believe it to be relevant to the case.
It's good to have a full picture of the crime scene. The defense requests the bottle be accepted into evidence.
Bah! Desperate to latch onto every little thing, aren't you? Whatever. You can add it to the evidence if it makes you happy. No skin off my teeth. In that case, the court accepts this bottle into evidence.
Perfume bottle.
Now then, defense, begin your cross-examination.
Ranch's gift from the princess, bought before this crime, found at the crime scene. The scene behind the door.
I arrived at Lon Lon Ranch a little after 8.
If these guards were their highness, why were they not called as witnesses?
We did question the guards, naturally.
Apparently, they didn't get to see anything relevant.
I was the only one to enter the crime scene. After seeing what was inside, I stood guard and insisted no one be allowed to enter until the Sheikah force arrived. I have read that preserving the scene is vital.
Quite correct.
I'm sure the guards were absolutely thrilled with that order.
Please proceed, witness.
Nobody welcome us. Have you conducted these royal visitations in the past, Your Highness?
No, this was my first one. Up until last year, my father was always one to make the visit to Lon Lon Ranch. However, he decided that I had to start preparing all of the royal duties that await me, so I was to do it this time.
You doubtlessly performed admirably as a ruler when the time comes.
What happened when you got to the ranch house? Said something was wrong, opened the door to the house. And what then?
Stop interrupting and let her get to the point. Defense? I believe I was clear about not badgering the witness.
You
paid attention to something like that after seeing a murder princess?
Well, I spent a rather long time in there waiting for the Sheikah force to arrive. Plus, the bottle is quite beautiful. It just stood out.
I don't give a shit. I see dead people all the time when they're getting tortured under Kakariko Village. In front of the table, terrifying scene. Am I assuming that she's actually like saying that Malon was sawing through a wooden chest? You were there at the exact time of the murder, Your Highness?
That is correct. That's impossible. You're lying.
The defendant will curb her outbursts. You're addressing royalty.
This is really bad. Alright, ask about the crime scene. Ask what was outside. Accuse Zelda of the crime. I mean... There's nowhere to save. I guess... I don't know. I am so fucking curious.
Well, if you were there alone, how could we know you didn't do it?
Accusing the princess? Pathetic. The defense is truly grasping at straws.
You fool! You think a child could overpower a grown adult? One who does hard manual labor every day? Besides, why would the princess even want to take the life of a measly ranch owner? And not just any ranch owner, one the crown has the most successful business relationship with. Idiotic. Simply idiotic.
That sounds like a lot of, well, she doesn't have the reason or motive to, but...
Has the defense lost their mind? Cease this line of questioning immediately.
Perhaps a penalty will dispute the defense from this rather unsubstantiated accusations.
Fuck! No! No, it's fine!
No? Then perhaps the defense wants to bid farewell to their head. Higher traders are dealt swiftly with these days.
I extend my most sincere apologies. I don't know what came over me.
Nonetheless, I believe a penalty is still very much wanted.
Fuck you!
Well, that was a stupid thing to say.
There is definitely something off about the statement, though. There's something else? Is there really no way to, like... There's no way to save at all? No, not really. That's a shame. I don't know how that works then. Let's just hope we don't lose. Nope. Nope, I'm not accusing her again. Crime scene specifically. Where were the victim and the defendant at the time? The ranch owner was in front of a little table that was directly across from the entrance door. The defendant was right in front of him and quickly fainted after her attack. A large pool of blood started forming where the victim was. I had rather good view of the whole scene. Right.
This is unfortunate as... It is fortunate as you can see the whole thing in such detail. Now please continue.
I asked something else.
Accuse her again!
Are you sure there wasn't anyone else at the ranch, Your Highness? No, the place looked empty. Although I did later see a worker pull up a loaded wagon when the courier came asking about milk supplies, shipments. He caused quite a bit of a scene when the Shikafor started inspecting it. The worker must have been somewhere else in the ranch, I suppose.
The ranch is pretty large. The worker was inside the building on the other side. It's quite understandable she wouldn't have seen him until later.
Rat, this really doesn't give me a whole lot to work with. So, that specifically says, in front of the table, terrifying scene was unveiling, defendant was hacked. Is there anything I can do to alter that, or state that that was wrong? Are you sure you got a good look at them, Your Highness? You didn't look away in panic?
The princess is very brave to take control of the situation the way she did. There's no need to doubt what she saw.
Ah, yes. Well, I suppose what she did was admirable. Only I arrived earlier. Your Highness, don't blame yourself for this. You arrived earlier, you could have been the one who got attacked.
Ha! So you would have lashed out at anyone trying to stop you, huh? Despicable.
That's not what she meant, and you know it. Princess, please go on. Very well. Press your heart, Princess. Your Highness. You know Malin didn't do this.
What nonsense! Here, heart. What does our organs have to do with anything? Oh, of course. Evidence and testimony be damned. We just because we feel the defendant must be innocent. Oh, well, if you're sure, then I can declare today's verdict. Have you gone senile, old man? Oh, that was a joke, much like the arguments that the defense has been presenting.
Alright.
I can't believe the princess would lie about this.
Yeah, it really is shocking.
You don't believe her, right? Even if she is the princess, it means nothing. I didn't do it.
To trust authority or your best friend. I'll need something very concrete to disprove what the princess is saying. Okay, I've not actually got anything straight to my mind, but the fact that 5 on the table with some kind of crystal bottle. You said that she fainted immediately, right? Hold on, let's hear that again. Quickly fainted right after the attack. There we go, got it. Alright, so she didn't have time to wipe it off. I think that's what I'm supposed to be doing here. Yeah, that's true. Melon probably couldn't have wiped the blade off while the princess was watching. But it's not entirely out of the question. There's something much more damning in this testimony. I shouldn't play all the cards early. Okay, what? So that's correct, but then I'm not allowed to present it? There's something more damning? Hacked the ranch owner with the saw she was holding. Just say she was holding it. I'm not sure what the thing is then here. What? Died from an irregular wound made with a... Died from blood loss no later than 8 a.m. When she said it was at 8 that she went in. No later. Okay, so a little after 8 a.m. So she said she saw the victim die. So am I presenting it there, or am I presenting it during the time when she's saying, like, in front of the table, a terrifying scene was unveiling. The defendant got hacked at the ranch owner's chest. So I'm gonna go to the start and present the autopsy. Hell yeah, okay. That was a lot more hidden. I found the freaking rag thing way earlier. Your Honor, Your Highness, I believe I found something that doesn't match up with the facts. How dare you question the princess? This is... You will let the defense speak, your prosecutor. I think I see why you so desperately wanted to prevent this cross-examination now. Your Highness, you stated that you arrived at the ranch shortly after 8 a.m., correct? Yes, the visit was scheduled for 8:30, exactly. But we were a bit early. I see. That makes it something that you mentioned quite impossible. As stated by the autopsy report, the victim died before 8 a.m. You couldn't have seen the defendant attack the ranch owner when you arrived, because the victim was already dead by then. Hell yeah. Order! Order!
Yes, you really caught her in a lie.
Your Highness, what is the meaning of this? While I wholeheartedly respect and deserve the crown, I would nonetheless tolerate lies in my court.
I have not lied. I suppose I did not see the exact moment when it happened. I guess I only thought I did.
Princess, this is a matter of life and death.
I definitely saw the defendant there, though, along with the body. There's no doubt anyone else could have done it. I remember all of the other details correctly. The body's on the floor, the pool of blood. You have to believe me.
Perhaps it's best if Her Highness revises her testimony. That's not good. Still not enough to doubt and overturn this testimony. I have to find something else or this case will be over. Alright. So far it's pretty good, this game. What I actually saw.
I'm sorry for embellishing the truth a little bit. I did not see the actual moment of the attack. But it had to have happened shortly before I went into the ranch house. Miss Malin and her father were the only ones at the scene of the crime, so she has to be the culprit.
So you're just arguing what the prosecution's argued. I see, you only saw the aftermath of the scene, not the actual crime being committed. Very well. Hopefully there's no issues in your testimony this time. Defense, it's time for you to cross-examination. Okay, so is she gonna be more blatant about, like, yeah, I saw her faint as soon as I came in, or something like that? I don't know. That doesn't work as much anymore since she didn't see the moment of the crime. Naturally, Your Honor. Ragmire looks pretty angry. I bet he didn't expect such a blatant contradiction to pop up. If I could just find another one like that, the princess's testimony would become completely untrustworthy in the eyes of the judge. Cross-examination.
I'm sorry a bit for embellishing the truth a little bit.
Why did you do that, Your Highness? It's a life on the line here.
I really am sorry. I just suppose I got a little too excited for being a witness for an actual murder trial.
Really now? Most people hate testifying.
Yes, well, the life of the princess is rather boring, you know. This is quite a break from the routine for me.
Should I just get a hobby then? You should just get a hobby then. In that case, it can be conclusively proven that the defendant did it. Defense, have you exhausted that singular brain cell on this last contradiction you found? There's a Deaf Mountain's worth of evidence pointing at the defendant. You're just because no one saw the actual moment of the crime doesn't mean that nobody else could have done it. That anyone else could have done it. I think you're making a deaf mountain out of a deaf molehill. It had to happen shortly after I went into the ranch. How could you be so sure of that, Princess?
Well, when I entered the ranch house, the victim still had the murder weapon embedded into his body.
What?
It's obvious what that means, is it not? The killer did not even have enough time to try and hide the weapon. Yes, I might have not seen the murder firsthand, but I have seen been very close to have seen doing fuck you!
Oh my, that was very mean. Yeah, I figured it'd be advisable for Her Highness to amend her testimony.
Certainly, Your Honor.
Interesting. Ragmire certainly didn't look very happy about this development, does he? Thinking about it, I might just know why.
The murder weapon was stuck into the victim's body, after all.
That doesn't necessarily mean the client was the one to do it, though. What if someone else snuck in before Malin and Princess arrived?
Well, I suppose.
Lon Lon Ranch is surrounded by high walls, and the only way through is a self-locking gate. Not many people have the key to that gate. Just so the personnel and the crown. Well, someone could have forced the way in. Huh! You wish to propose such a possibility, you to substantiate it with some evidence. Have any proof that another person showed up at the ranch before the princess? Do I? I don't right now.
there any proof that another person showed up at the ranch? Not right now, but I'm assuming that I'm gonna get more testimony that there was. I don't. Yeah, I don't have anything of the sort. Must be another angle of attack from this from. Very well, the witness. Events is wisely chosen to stay silent. Continue your testimony. Miss Malin and her father were the only ones at the scene of the crime, so she must be the culprit. Are you sure Malin was the only person there other than the victim? From what I recall, there was an upstairs room at the ranch. What if someone was hiding in there? Don't be stupid, Defense. If someone was hiding up there, the Sheikah Force would have found them. I stood guard at the door the entire time. No one could have left. What if they jumped out the window? That'd be ridiculous. Those windows are very high up. Actually, those windows can't even be opened. They have to be broke. They'd have to break one to leave. Right. Well, this is a little more plausible than the last testimony she gave. Yes, I suppose it matches up with the detective's account, doesn't it? Still, I feel like something here sticks out like a sore thumb. Yeah. I mean... technically, he's after the crime. Alright, so... I mean, the other person is here. But... I can't save. I keep, like, trying to. But yeah, I want to present... No... I present the bloody cloth? I mean, again, before I was told she didn't have a chance to wipe it. Right? I believe I found another reason to doubt the witness's words. Yeah! Seems the prosecution is seeing what I'm getting at here. There's a bloody cloth discovered at the scene of the crime. I feel like it was weirdly worded, though. Like, said, like, yeah, the weapon was still inside the body. But she didn't say, like, she fainted. Or anything like that while the weapon was still in the body or something like that. There was a bloody cloth discovered at the scene of the crime. The prosecution has argued before that it was used to wipe the saw clean. If the princess saw the saw lodged in Talon's body, the crime scene was left intact. And it couldn't have been wiped. Well, Prosecutor Dragmire, here to explain. This is most perplexing. Highness, are you sure that's what you saw? Well, maybe the princess decided to pull the saw out in a vigilant yet futile attempt to save the victim. And then wipe the blade clean. That would be almost like framing the defendant. Of course I did no such thing. I made sure that the crime scene stayed intact. I guess I must have made up the memory about the saw sticking out of Miss Talon as well. You idiotic girl! You even realize what you've done with your bumbling? I'm sorry. I was just so excited to stand here as a witness in the court just this once. Whenever I tried to tell my father about anything, he just seemed so disinterested. Just this once I wanted to feel listened to. The defendant, it is clear that she did it. Oh. I just wanted to play a larger part in her capture. I'm sorry for all the trouble I've caused you all. What the fuck, lady? Your Highness, the court is in no place for silly games. As it stands, I am afraid we'll have to strike your statements from the court record completely. Yes, I did it. The Prosecution's lost a key witness.
No! Please wait! I have more to say. I was wrong about the crime scene, but I still have not testified about what I saw afterwards.
Bah! Why should we care about that? The best that you leave and stop damaging my case with your idiocy!
Even if you are not interested in my words, you might be interested in the evidence I found.
Whoa! The evidence?
Of course. While the Sheikah Force investigated inside the ranch house, I looked around the rest of the ranch on my own.
Sheikah! Did you know about this? Oops. Of course I did.
You did?
I'll have your head for this! Order! Order! What is the meaning of this, detective? Why have you withheld this from the court?
It's quite simple. The princess specifically requested to present the findings on her own.
What? And you agree to this? This court is not some playground where kids decide when evidence should be presented just because they have a crown.
He's being rude about it, but I can't help but agree with Dragmire on this one. Also, I don't really buy this story. There's no way Impa would have allowed this. Believe me, I wasn't thrilled with the request either. However, after seeing the evidence in question, I didn't think it would be all that important to the case. Thus, I let the princess have her fun.
This is highly irregular. I'm not sure how to feel about this. Prosecutor? Bah, naturally I object to this nonsense. If the detective thinks it's irrelevant, then this is probably just a waste of time. All the evidence points to the defendant. It's clear that she did it even without the witness at the scene. I see. Defense?
What do we do?
We object to presenting the evidence, then Dragmire loses his key witness. Plus, whatever the princess presents could be bad for our case, too.
So we should agree with the prosecution?
Well, on the other hand, we don't really have much to go on. This could be our only lead left.
Well, don't keep us waiting. Surely, you won't want to throw away all the progress you've made thus far.
What do I do? Ignore the evidence or request the evidence? I mean, it feels like we need more evidence, especially if we're going to start going down the route that someone else committed the crime, right? I really hope this is the right choice. The defense requests that the evidence be presented.
What?
Well, I agree that the situation is irregular. You should examine all evidence available. It would be silly to dismiss it as irrelevant without at least seeing what it is.
I do believe you have a point, defense. However, I must warn you. In order to admit this piece of evidence into the court record, the princess's statements that she found it must be admitted as testimony, along with everything else she might say.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm well aware. The defense wishes to give the princess just one last chance.
Of all the idiotic, foolish... Order! Very well, then. Your Highness, please testify once more about this new piece of evidence you found during your own investigation.
Thank you. I will not let you down this time. I promise.
That's what she said, yeah. The princess should understand the gravity of the situation at hand now. I just hope this new evidence isn't damaging to our case. Oh, another Ben incoming. Wow, you're so fucking cool, aren't you? Hold on. You know, there should probably be some way of blacklisting
a word even if different fonts are used, because that is just what they're doing, using different fonts to do the exact same bullshit. Fuck off, get out of my fucking stream. My findings.
I wish to express my heartfelt apologies for making mistakes in the other testimonies. Upon entering the ranch house, I saw the defendant passed out in front of the victim, who was bleeding out. I stood guard at the entrance of the ranch house until the Sheikah force arrived. Once the Sheikah force started their investigating the crime scene, I decided to take a look around the ranch. While I was walking near the silo, I noticed a strong odor in the air. I had to stop and see where it was coming from. I followed the scent and found a burned out fire nearby, a small nearby empty bottle of lamp oil. I, of course, took this bottle straight to the head detective.
So possibly something was banned.
Here it is, an oil bottle I found.
An oil bottle. Has anything been burned? And I suppose in here, do we have oil bottle? No, we don't.
Is something wrong?
Oh no, this might actually be completely irrelevant. Yes, well... Of course there is, foolish girl. This has nothing to do with anything. Your great finding is some random fire on the ranch, please. What's next? Are you going to declare every rake on the premises suspicious?
Well,
This prosecution will calm down. This is my... Your Honor! Despite the fact that the evidence might not seem to add up to anything at the moment, the defense will still exert its right to cross-examination. Straws have to be grasped. Why must you insist on this charade, defense? The princess has merely recounted the same view as the crime scene as the head detective. I haven't been able to find any contradictions in her statements.
I believe that there might be some way to tie the princess's new evidence into the case.
Ridiculous! Regardless of what the prosecution thinks, the defense does have a right to cross-examination. The court admits the oil bottle into evidence. I mean, it does show that something was burned, so, like, it's very relevant, I feel. A tiny bit of oil is left. I just really hope this isn't a complete waste of time, defense. For both your own sake and your clients.
Okay. My findings.
Immediately. There's no need to press this witness on an apology. You've only wasted a chance to fraud out the testimony. Yes, defense, please get to the point. While entering the ranch house... Was there anything else in the room?
Only the beautiful little crystal bottle I mentioned before. The house was rather barren. Most of our things are on the top floor since the downstairs is mostly used for ranch business these days.
And the occasional game.
Ah, of course. Dad's famous cuckoo game.
The good old days. The fence is done reminiscing. There's plenty of time to do that with the defendant behind bars.
I was just trying to distract myself from the fact that there's nothing to latch onto here.
Did anything happen during that time?
No, not that I recall. The guards did occasionally protest and ask me to let them take over, but I held my stance.
While commendable in theory, staying in the same room as a dangerous killer isn't very wise. What if she woke up and lashed out at you? Sweet Hylia above!
That thought did not occur to me.
Bah, of course not. Foolish girl.
But the guards did stand close by. I would have been safe.
Wonderful to see how much faith the princess has in our royal guards.
Yes, of course I do. In any case.
Do-do-do-do. Oh my god. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do. God, this music's great. Alright, Sheikah, so you've gone to decide to check the ranch. What? You didn't just go home?
The royal visitation was supposed to last a lot longer. Father wasn't expecting us back at the castle until much later. I came to the ranch to examine the horses, and I supposed I could at least do that in the meantime. How long did it take for the Sheikah to arrive on the scene? It does not take very long to make the trip from Hyrule Castletown to Lon Lon Ranch. I cannot imagine it was more than 20 minutes.
It is pretty fast. Although I imagine that the fact that the princess was involved helped speed it up a little. Slowpokes! I would have been there in half that time, running backwards even. I suppose it's no surprise, though. Hylian horses are naturally inferior to our fine Gerudo steeds.
The Gerudo buy horses from the ranch.
Wait a minute.
The Gerudo buy horses from our ranch too, Yin.
Just don't bother. He's trying to rally you up.
While I was walking to the silo, I noticed a strong odor in the air.
What was the smell like? I mean, didn't I get, like, testimony that he was in the other building on the other side? Right? Oh, no. What was the smell like?
Oh, it was awful. A really terrible stench.
Surely you don't mean to say she found a smell of horse manure suspicious.
Do not be ridiculous! The smell was not coming from the horses. I followed the scent and found a burnt-out fire nearby. A small nearby empty bottle of lamp oil.
Rope? Bombs?
A fire, huh?
Now let me remind you, Defense, that there is any number of reasons why a fire could have been there. You can still feel the cold grasp of death early in the morn.
Princess, how long would you estimate the fire had been out before you found it? Ah, right. There was a still smoke rising out of the ashes, so it must have been put out recently.
So around the time of the crime. So someone prepared their breakfast there. I repeat, this fire is irrelevant. I think you realized the same thing I did. Well, who was it? Who could have lit that fire anyway? It would have had to have been the ranch worker who was putting milk shipments together at the time. Oh. So he also had time to start a fire? It was almost certainly him. If you would want to ask about his little barbecue, you might get your wish soon.
Doesn't sound like he was very appetizing.
Without anything in concrete to pin him on, he would just be able to brush it off. Right. She allowed you to present it?
Well, I was the one to find it. And since I was going to the trial anyway.
Utter ridiculousness! Yes. Please make this the last time you do something like this, Your Highness. Proper procedure exists for a reason.
Yes, I understand.
Alright, so I wasn't supposed to break off anything here. Defense, I believe that's enough. Doesn't seem like you're getting anywhere closer with these connections of this fire to the crime at all. No, I suppose not, Your Honor. Naturally. I've said this was a waste of time from the beginning. In that case, the cross-examination is over. Thank you for your time, Your Highness. I assume you have no more relevant revelations to share with us.
No, I do not. I really thought the fire would be important.
Leave my sight! Enough. Your Highness, if you would allow me to escort you back to Hyrule Castle.
Very well.
Now that the princess's little game is over, we should move this along. The prosecution's stance is still the same, of course. We maintain that the evidence on the its own is enough to convict the defendant. I do believe I'm nearly ready to hand out my verdict.
But Your Honor, there's nothing that definitively shows that Malin committed the crime. This is all circumstantial. There's no way she could have killed her own father.
Ah, that's an excellent point, defense. The prosecution has yet to elaborate on the defendant's motive. Patricide is not something a person commits lightly. Bah! I did briefly touch on the subject during my opening statement. But naturally, the prosecution is fully prepared to elaborate on it further. I would like to call in my third witness.
That has to be the ranch worker.
Before calling him in, though, the prosecution requests a brief recess to prepare.
I thought you said you were already prepared.
He wants to do a double check that his new witness won't pull anything weird like the princess did. Very well. I do believe a break would benefit us all. The court will reconvene after a 15-minute recess. Court is adjourned.
March 17th, 11:17. Hyrule Grand Court, defendant lobby number 3.
Honestly, I didn't even, check. Princess Zelda's in here now. So she's 14? Jesus. And Link's an attorney, so this isn't the same world, right? I mean, I assume, unless her mother is also Princess Zelda.
Heir of the apparent role thrown, a witness to the murder. It's not going well at all, is it?
No, I think we went about this as well as it could have. Actually, given the circumstances, we exposed the worst of the princess's testimony as untrue.
Ugh, I cannot believe she just made all that stuff up like that.
Yeah, that was surprising.
Still, the issue is that we didn't manage to shake the core of the argument.
If only there was anyone else in that house. Now, there's no need to look so glum. I had a feeling.
Detective, aren't you supposed to be escorting the princess back?
The carriage is being prepared. I thought I'd drop in by the meantime. Ah, my words. You have really managed to make Dragmire furious, you know.
I have?
If you had listened carefully, you might just be able to hear him ranting over the prosecutor's lobby. I love that. He's really giving his upcoming witness a grilling. Expect him to try to shut you down as fast as he can.
Well, that would be worrying if I had anything that
he could shut down in the first place, I guess.
Oh?
But you do.
What do you mean?
Oh, come on now. I'm talking about the princess's grand discovery, that is.
A fire? I wasn't able to do anything with that.
You really think that's relevant? Don't get me wrong. At present, I am convinced the girl did it. We investigated and came to the conclusion for a reason.
What?
I'm always willing to explore every possibility. That fire is definitely a bit strange, and I dare say it may be your only way out of this. If I may be so bold, I think you should press the next witness on the topic. Hard. As I am the only other person working at the ranch working at the ranch at the time, he could only be the one who could have lit that fire. He is hiding something. I think the court deserves to know.
Thing is, the next testimony is about the motive. It would be difficult to bring up the fire again without Dragmire objecting.
You'll have to make it work.
As much as I don't like it, she's right. There really isn't a whole lot else to go off here.
Well, thank you. Do not mention it. One last thing. You, ranch girl.
Me?
Try not to hold the testimony against the princess. Believe me, I am sure she was acting with the best of intentions in mind.
You know the road to the Dark Realm is paved with those, right?
Perhaps. It was definitely a suspicious lapse of judgment, one she will live to regret. Part of this comes with the fact that she's rather sheltered and inexperienced.
After the sudden death of her older sister last year, she was thrust into the role of heir very suddenly. Ah. That's right, the mysterious death of the firstborn Princess Zelda. Hyrule still grieves after the events of that day. And yet no one knows exactly what happened. Is she T-posing on the ground there? In the void of information, conspiracy theories run amok. People blaming the Royal Guard, the Sheikah, and even the King himself. The princess will soon have a whole kingdom's worth of trouble on her shoulders. For a kingdom with a history as turbulent as ours, it is a lot to handle. The princess's conduct today probably won't help with the distrust of some people have the crown right now, though. She is wise beyond her years. She will learn, and she will be better. I simply ask that you not think of her as an enemy, whatever comes of this trial. She does not need more than she already has. Wow, she's so intense. I've never expected to see Impa get so emotional. This is why she decided to take blame for the princess's impromptu investigation. Detective Impa! What is it, soldier? I'm quite busy at the moment, so be quick. The investigation team is back at the ranch to send word of the new development. They're about milk shipment being returned to the ranch because of a wrong recipient address. We're asking you to come over and see it. Oh, those idiots. I do not have time for this. Send someone else. I have to escort the princess to the castle. Roger! That did remind me, though. I took a look at this bottle of milk. I took this bottle of milk from a couple guards who was slacking on the job earlier. Here, ranch girl. Perhaps it will help calm your nerves somewhat. Do not worry. It is unopened.
Oh? Thank you. Thank you.
That's nice of her. Too bad those guards, though. Now then, I believe the princess's carriage should be prepared by now. If you would excuse me.
I think I'm still so nervous right now. The milk has just lost its flavor.
Huh? Lost its flavor? Ah, they were filled with water. Or something of the like, right? They've been like watered down. Lon Lon Ranch always has it's so tasty. Are you sure it's just nerves? Let me try some. Huh? You're right. I assume this would have come from one of yesterday's shipments.
Probably, but with the investigation at the ranch, there wouldn't be any today, so maybe it just isn't fresh?
No, I don't think so. It doesn't really taste as if it's gone bad. Also, the guard said that one of the yesterday's shipments was misaddressed, didn't he? It was all handled by Ingo, wasn't it? I think there's something odd going on. I better make some notes about this on the court record. Let's look at those quickly. God, we got so much evidence now. Apparently one of the milk shipments was returned to the ranch due to being misaddressed. From yesterday's shipments, Impa brought it during the recess. It seems strangely tasteless. Yeah, I assume that they've been watered down in order to make the time that he did. Defense, the court is about to reconvene. Escort the court blind back into the courtroom at once. Look at my big thighs. So it comes down to this. Conclusion's approaching. Time to turn the situation around. Oh, hey, Malk. We're playing Ace Attorney, but let Zelda. Because I'm insane, and I love playing all Zeldas, apparently. Court is back in session for the trial of Malon of Lon Lon Ranch. I trust that the prosecution's final witness is ready. Naturally, I've personally seen to it that there's no more foolishness around this time. Hopefully his ears are still intact. As we've discussed at the before the recess, having established the opportunity that means of the defendant to have committed the murder, only one matter remains: the matter of motives. For naturally, such a heinous crime should not be the result of mere happenstance. The prosecution believes that the defendant had a deep desire that pushed her to patricide. Ugh. Our next witness will shed light on the matter. Fascinating. Very well, please proceed. The prosecution calls the ranch worker Ingo to the stand. Oh, there he is, doing a Frank Sawwit.
It's so funny to see Mr. Ingo in such fancy clothes.
Oh?
Yeah, he's almost always wears his work dungarees.
Oh.
It's almost as like looking at a different person.
Well, I guess he wanted to dress up for the court, and he wouldn't want to get this nice outfit dirty by working on it. You met?
Quiet, defense! Witness, state your name and occupation.
Your Honor, great honorable prosecutor, my name is Ingo. I mind Lon Lon Ranch.
Mind? What does that entail exactly?
I'm mostly there to work on the structures and equipment. The owner and his daughter are the ones who tend the animals and take care of orders.
Nice, I love this music too. Yeah, it's like a slowed down version of the ranch. I like the racing music, I believe.
How long have you been working at this ranch? It's been several years at this point. And there's been others who've come and went, but I, Ingo, have persevered through all the hardships.
Sounds like he wants a medal for it.
Well, he does get a bit pompous at times, but Mr. Ingo really is a great help. He built the ranch's silo single-handedly.
Oh, that's some dedication.
Very well.
Given that you're clearly an important employee, you are privy to some inside information, is that correct?
Yes, the ranch owner shared all his big plans with me. He trusted me implicitly. He used to say that we were like big family.
That sounds lovely.
That sounds like a red flag that you're gonna get loads of unpaid overtime.
Evidently, not every family member of your so-called family felt the same way, though, didn't they?
It hurts to do this, but I have no choice. Hear my story, honorable court of law.
There we go. The matter of motive.
Just a couple days ago, the owner, Talon, partly signed the ranch over to his daughter, Malin. Talon became a life tenant, with Malin meant to inherit all of the assets after his death. As long as Talon lived, Malin could not have sold the ranch. It's simple, isn't it? The girl killed Talon to get full ownership and leave the dingy ranch life behind. It's appalling how ungrateful she is, after all Talon did for her.
Right, so he hasn't brought up the fire at all or anything like that, so his actions during that day have not been called into question. Possible that this might come up. I mean, it's probably going to come up that maybe how long he's worked at the ranch might come into question or something. I don't know.
And there you have it. Testimony from a man who just lost everything. Truly tragic for to witness yet another family torn apart by greed.
We have evidence. We have the defendant caught red-handed and at the scene of the crime. Now we have a motive.
How do we know he's telling the truth?
Bah! I, of course, verified the witness's testimony. As per law, all inheritance documents have been filed at the Castletown Notary Office to be considered valid. I saw it fit to prepare this for the trial. The prosecution would like to submit the Lon Lon Ranch inheritance document into evidence.
Take a quick look-see. Malon will inherit the ranch if she is unable to divide the deed between the crown and remaining employees. Well, that's fun to see. So that's very much a motive for him. Or the crown.
Mr. Ingo, why would you?
You should pass judgment now, Judge. The defense has nothing.
I would like to cross-examine the witness. There are a few details that I feel are relevant. But of course, ask whatever you like. I, the hard-working Ingo, can handle it.
Very well, defense. Please begin.
Matter of motive. Alright. How long ago was this exactly?
3-4 days. I'm not sure on the exact date.
Had it been planned for a long time?
Talon was getting on in the years. Better to take care of the matter sooner than later, eh?
Malin? He's telling the truth. Father scheduled a visit to the notary office about a week ago. What do you mean by partly witness? So Malin hadn't become the ranch's owner yet?
What? Of course not. Haven't you ever heard of all the stories making rounds lately? So many ungrateful brats throwing around old folks into retirement homes the moment ownership is signed to them. Talon was no fool. I myself convinced him that it was a safer option. If the girl was up to some chicanery, he could always revert on his decision.
That's horrible. I'd never do that.
As much as I'd like to believe that, you did much worse by killing him. Children these days, you feed them, you raise them, and they pull a stunt like this as soon as you give them an inch over yourself. Pasta, ravioli.
I must concur the younger generation is horrible.
Why is he looking at me when he said that? How old is Link, actually? I mean, I'm assuming he's at the same age as Malin, which is 27.
Anyway, what I meant was, as long as Talon lived, Malin could not sell the ranch.
But why would Malin want to sell the ranch right now?
Why wouldn't she want to? Why would a pretty girl like her want to work in some dingy ranch? She'd have it much better if she sold the old place and used the money to move to Castletown.
That's not true. I love working with animals. I wouldn't leave them for anything.
She's often slacking on the job, even while I, the hard-working Ingo, have to cover for her. I guess the Deku nut doesn't fall far from the tree, as they say. The Talon love to sleep on the job, too.
Oh, I do recall a quite funny story about Lon Lon Ranch owner blocking the side entrance to Hyrule Castle for an entire day once. The guards just couldn't wake him up, so it took a particularly vocal cuckoo, apparently.
Ah, jeez. I remember that. That's a reference. Nostalgia.
Well, there you go.
I don't mind it, actually, though, because this is a fan game, obviously, right?
I'm the real reason why the ranch has such renown. Me, the hard-working Ingo.
Link, that's not true at all.
I know, but how do I stop this?
Isn't it simple? The girl killed Talon to get full ownership. He killed and leave the dingy ranch life behind.
Do you really think Malin would go that far?
I don't want to think it, but clearly the events speak for themselves, don't they?
Why wouldn't she just wait a few more years then?
Talon was getting older. Perhaps she knew more and more work would be piling onto her. Really, how was I supposed to know? Ask her!
That's alright. Well, if Malin didn't want to work, wouldn't she have just done this earlier? As Talon's only child, she would still inherit the ranch.
That's where you're wrong. For a long while, Talon's planned to split the ranch between the girl and the crown. He was a patriotic man. He knew how much the horses meant to the royal guard. I wish he hadn't changed his mind now.
Is this true?
Yes, Father's previous inheritance document did work that way.
How admirable. I guess familial bonds won over the drive to help the kingdom. Truly a shame.
Yes, naturally. The girl wanted the whole thing so she could bided her time.
I think this is sufficiently explains the timing. Good, let's continue, shall we? Wait just a moment. There's one more problem with the timing, I'd like the witness to explain. Why would Malin have planned the murder on the day of the royal visitation specifically? More people around means more witnesses. You'd think she would have chosen any other day.
Oh, did I forget to mention this? I overheard Talon arguing with her the very morning. He was telling her he changed his mind again. He was planning to tell the king that he was signing the ranch over to the crown. After the visitation was over, he was to head to Castletown and change the inheritance to the original split.
I think I know what the thing is here. He already went to Castletown. So why didn't he make this split already? What? You fucking liar. Despite the victim's wishy-washiness, it would appear that he did make the right choice in the end. Because of that choice, the defendant wanted to get to the ranch. Get the ranch. She had no time to waste that day. Is that true too?
Absolutely not! Father wasn't planning to do that either. There's no argument, and there was no argument either.
What about this argument then? At its testimony, I know that it's false. There was an argument about inheritance? That sounds like an important fact to me. The defense requests to be added to the testimony. Very well, witness. Please do so.
I'd be happy to, Your Honor. I overheard arguing about inheritance that morning.
Well, what time did this happen?
First thing in the morning. I was heading out to the silo to start the day's work. I had just walked out to the front door to the ranch house when I heard some yelling erupt behind me.
Do you remember any specifics about what he said? What was said?
Oh yes, he surprised me enough that I stopped to listen for a minute. It was all like,
I'm really sorry, Malin, but the most important thing is to make sure the king has a steady supply of quality horses.
I don't care! What about me, Father? How can you do this to me?
Malin, this isn't just about you, it's about the good of the kingdom.
What am I supposed to do? I can't move up in the last life, stuck on this dump of a ranch forever.
I thought you loved the wench. Always the animals here, and Ingo always helping out with the chores too. He's pretty great, isn't he?
Yeah, Ingo is pretty awesome, but I still hate you for this. This isn't over.
What a sterling reenactment.
I freaking love voicing that.
I will keep my thoughts of the witness's acting skills to myself.
There's no way this actually happened, though. Malin would never want to sell the ranch.
Well, of course she'd say that now, you buffoon. Remember, she's still under suspicion for murder. You can't trust a thing she says.
I trust her, but the judge probably doesn't right now. That's unfortunately what matters. Do I have anything in the court record to refute this story? I do. I mean, again, the testimony given is a bit awkward, but I do know the contradiction here is that he would have already changed the document. If you ask me, the whole inheritance issue would have been avoided if the crown wasn't so soft. In Gerudo Desert, there's no question that the fortress may seize whatever it desires. That's just messed up. No matter. Continue your testimony, Tom, and share with us the true nature of the defendant.
It's appalling how ungrateful she is. No, you hold it! That man gave everything for her. She's gotten so many expensive presents over these years. Just look at the golden necklaces you're wearing. The man spoiled her rotten. In fact, I think I saw another present she was meaning to give her on the very day he was killed.
Another gift?
Why, yes, a little bottle of perfume, I think. It's horrible. Talon was such a kind man. What happened to him was despicable.
Was that a statement of Paul Portman? I mean, I could, but I don't know if it's... Bah! What are you doing? Try to implicate the defendant harder? I think it's important detail. Perfume is irrelevant! But, I suppose the prosecution has no objection to strengthening our case. Very well, witness. Please add what you just said to the testimony.
Where did you see this?
I think it was lying around the ranch house. Talon probably intended to give it to Malin on the day he was killed.
You mean this witness?
Why, yes, that's exactly it.
I mean, hold on. Yeah, I think my original thing is right, but I don't think the game sees it like that. So, I think the more blatant thing here is that the bottle was bought last minute, so he shouldn't have seen it.
If only Talon would spend as much on his salary on me, the hardworking Ingo, I'd get up to leave to do my work at the break of dawn every day, you know.
What's your relationship with this guy, anyway?
Well, he's employed and living with us on the ranch for as long as I can remember, really. You know, I don't think he's ever skipped a day of work thinking about it.
Not a single one? Talk about dedication. Even so, something's very much off here. Okay, I want to see what happens if I do actually present the bottle on... Well, the problem is that he's not specifically testifying about it anymore. Like, he didn't specifically put it in his testimony that Talon was gonna go... Yeah, I think it's obvious what it wants me to do. I just feel like my original presentation was actually still on point. I just don't know how to get that argument in. But obviously, witness! He shouldn't have known about this bottle at all, since it was the last-minute purchase.
What is it?
Just to confirm, you say that this bottle of perfume was bought by Malin by her father, correct?
What else would it be for? I assure you, Talon wasn't the type to indulge in perfumes. Far from it.
Well, you're wrong, witness. Oh, is that so? Was the ranch owner truly a perfume connoisseur? No, Your Honor. The bottle of perfume was bought for the princess. So what, defense? Sure, it's technically a contradiction, but what is the purpose of this bottle change? Yes, defense, I admit I'm a bit confused. Please explain why the point is so important. Early in the trial, Malin mentioned that Talon bought this perfume in the preparation last minute. Isn't that right, Malin?
I'm sure it is. We had a gift for the king prepared when the news arrived that it was going to be the princess making the visitation. Father quickly rode off into town to get a new gift.
That info puts one thing into question. Malin's tasting gifts. I'd love to go crazy, but I don't want to be here all day, you know? So, somebody's movements, the princess's testimony. Somebody's movements.
Who's this person? Naturally, the person whose movements become the suspect is... Ingo. Smarmy man who works on the ranch, usually in his work clothes, but he's dressed up nicely for court. The witness himself. If you recall, the bottle of perfume which has just been purchased was found in the crime scene. This crime scene the witness supposedly never went to. He shouldn't have known about the bottle. Order, order! Is Ganondorf gonna be like, I told him about the bottle? The defense raises a very, very valid point.
You simpleton! What do you mean? What is the meaning of this?
Well, witness, did you go to the scene of the crime at any point?
No, of course I didn't. I was working in the silo the whole day. I remember I saw the gift on the day before the crime. The girl is lying. Talon must have gotten it on the gift the day before.
You're the one who's lying. Father didn't leave the ranch at all that day. One word against another. Defense, do you have any way to prove that your version of events is true? Ask the store, find the receipt, smell the perfume. I don't know what smelling the perfume would do. Ask at the store. Find the receipt. I mean, I don't know why I'm getting freaking punished for this, but I feel like find the receipt and ask the store are both valid. Apparently, one of the shipments directed. I mean, of course, there's an odor that was horrible outside, and it was something got burned, right? But I think it would be crazy because the bottle is still around, so it's not that. I'm pretty sure. Although this is a crapshoot, but what if the perfume was sprayed onto Ingo, or he used it on himself? Talon found him doing that, got angry at him, which led to the murder, and then Ingo had to quickly burn his outfit. He's wearing a different outfit because his clothes got burned because he got perfume on himself. Why don't we just smell the perfume? What? I mean, it's... If you smell it, would you, Honor? Well, if you say so, Defense. Here it goes. Oh, it's quite lovely. Huh? Seems like Talon had quite the nose to pick out that one. Great, you got the courtroom to smell like a kiwi's behind. Now what? How does it prove anything? Surely the purpose was... It smells very strong, so the perfume can't be that old? Perfumes have longer shelf life than just a couple days, you idiot. Right. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I was thinking. Fuck you! I know what I'd be arguing. The courtroom smells nicer, but that won't get you out of this penalty. Any other bright ideas? I mean, either of these work, but... Okay, ask the store. Why don't we send a soldier to ask the shop owner when the bottle was bought? Bah, do you know how many people visit that store? It's inconceivable that the owner would remember every phone to purchase. Fucking really? I'm gonna get... Okay, no. Thank you at least for not punishing me for that, because that's bullshit if they did. Oh, you picked the wrong one. When you buy something, you usually get a receipt. Except, you know, when you're in Zelda, you don't really get a receipt. Except for when you're about to get something in the future. But sure. Receipts are a thing in this game. Okay. And the receipt always shows the date of purchase. It might still be at the ranch's house.
I say we send someone to go look for it.
Father, he never throws receipts away. We have a drawer full of them. The perfume should be right on top.
I believe this idea has some merit. Soldiers, rush out to the ranch house immediately and search for the receipt. I'm sure that my version of, like, this, he got perfume on himself and burned it, his clothes, in order to hide that he smelled like the perfume. Your Honor! Yes? What is it, my little baby soldier? We just received a receipt from the station crime scene. Oh! Very well. Thank you, you little buttercup. You'll go down to know. A lot of writing on this. From Tingle's Mysterious Smells. Ah, yes, I think I've seen at that store. That's a eccentric-looking place in the back alley.
You could miss a blinding neon colors if you tried. It's an utter eyesore. The gall of this. Nobody's running a monopoly on Hyrulean perfume is preposterous.
Perhaps, but back to the matter at hand.
Nerve of that dunderhead! Why would anybody ever shop at the store when the owner calls everyone other customer a fairy?
Prosecutor.
The buffoons. Oh, the buffoons. The fool popped one right in my face.
Prosecutor Dragmire, enough! Continue on. I mean, yeah, the joke is that he's obviously a peruser of perfumes. Purchased item, 1 bottle of Rosie's Rupee Land. Oh my! This is quite the price. Why, I would have to... Objection! Your Honor! Please! The date of purchase? Ah, yes, right. Date of purchase. Why, it's March 16th, the day of the murder! Order! Order!
Yes, we got him.
I think we're finally getting somewhere.
Ah! Still doesn't mean anything.
Perhaps the witness briefly went back to the ranch house and saw something in the bottle then.
Yes, that's it. I was getting thirsty, so I went back to get a drink. Must have seen the bottle then.
Oh, come on. You were just gonna believe that.
You have any proof that he didn't?
Well, I
believe this calls for further testimony. The witness will now claims to have visited the crime scene shortly before the murder. We should learn of his exact movements that day.
Ah, my movements. All right then. There's not a whole lot to say though.
Unfortunate that he managed to weasel out of that. But the next testimony will be full of lies. It's my chance.
My non-suspicious movements. As I already stated, I had volunteered to work in the silo. At one point, I briefly went back to the ranch house to get myself a glass of water. I went back to the silo right after that and stayed there until the courier came. I haven't been back to the ranch house at all since then. At some point, the detective came and told me what happened. And wow, was the detective one fine woman.
All right.
See? I haven't done anything to warrant suspicion. Eat my shoes, brat.
I'll pass. There has to be something wrong in there. You can't put a flawless story together that quickly. Well, his flawless story is, I was in one building, then I left to get water, then I went back and never left the building. It's not a crazy story to come up with. You volunteered. What were you doing?
Working on the shipments of fulfilling orders. We send out crates of milk-to-milk bars. A lot of milk-to-milk bars across the kingdom every day, you know?
Milk bars?
Naturally, everyone loves a good drink, you know? and our milk is renowned as the best there is. I hear some others water theirs down. Despicable.
I see. I think you said earlier that your job is to work on the structures and equipment, though.
Indeed. Talon and the girl would usually be the ones overseeing the milk orders. However, since the royal visitation was happening that day, I felt that they needed their minds unoccupied. So I took it upon myself to do it this time. After the murder, I got scared that the Sheikah Force's investigations would delay the shipments, and that's why I, the Great Ingo, would get the blame. And thankfully, it all went through fine.
And you were so concerned about sending it off so quickly that you wrote the wrong delivery address on it.
Bah, you Hylians. Ridiculous. Getting tipsy from something like milk? But you can handle a sip of Gerudo's noble pursuit. A real man's drink.
A real man's drink? Aren't most Gerudos women?
Speaking of drinks, I believe the witness was talking about how he had gotten himself a glass of water.
Yes, of course. Moving all that heavy stuff around, it makes up a sweat. You see, I got very thirsty, and at some point I briefly went to the ranch house and got myself a glass of water.
You didn't think of just taking a sip of milk that you were handling?
Eh? No, it wouldn't be right. That milk was for customers, you see. I just didn't want to get into any trouble.
A truly honest man. How dare you suggest he steal from his own workplace?
Right. So what did you see at the house?
Nothing much. I got my drink and left. Still a lot of work to do, see? I suppose I must have seen the perfume bottle then. Yes, in fact, remember it clearly now. It was there on the table, clear as day.
Right.
What happened after that, witness?
Back to the silo, stayed there until the courier came. And you were able to complete this so quickly on your own.
Bah, you don't know what the might of the great Ingo. Yeah, pow! Wham! I got things done in no time. Well, I did almost break my back getting those crates out of the silo, though. There's so many and they're so heavy. It was like a puzzle in there. Anyway. Sorry. It's not important. Well, the point is, I haven't been back to that ranch house at all since then.
Are you sure?
Sure as I can be.
You never went back in even after the crime was discovered.
Bah! They wouldn't let me in. Preserving the crime scene or some such, I couldn't get any of my things. After I was questioned, no one gave me half a glance. I had to sleep in the stables that night. It was terrible.
What he just said important? Sure. Your Honor, I would like the witness to add his last statement to the testimony.
What? What are you trying to pull now?
Very well. The witness, please amend your statement.
Fine, whatever. I didn't even get to sleep or access any of my belongings. I had to spend the night in the stable.
Didn't get access to your belongings. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Couldn't you have stayed at the inn?
What am I, made of money? Think, boy. I'm just a simple ranch worker, you know. You lawyers always flaunting your wealth.
Right. Sorry. Well, actually, sorry. I doubt one night would bankrupt this guy. Look at what he's wearing. Effective, fine woman. Could you elaborate?
She's a hard-working woman who gets to the point and takes what she wants. Oh, not to mention an impeccable fashion sense. What's not to love?
It's not the part I wanted to elaborate on. Wow, he seems totally smitten with her. Sure does. I wonder how Imper feels about that.
Perhaps when this chore of a trial is over, we could. But no, we'll have to wait. I thought you could distract me, did you? I, the genius ranch worker Ingo, will see through your schemes.
You sticking to that story, huh? Yeah, it was a desperate fix, but it holds up surprisingly well. I can't believe
This is the same Mr. Ingo I know. He's usually so nice.
I have to press for more details. I'm sure he'll slip up somewhere. There's a piece of evidence on a profile waiting to disprove what he's saying. Okay, so I forgot profiles do actually come into play here. You know, that actually does point out. If he's couldn't have access to any of his belongings, he should be wearing his overalls. I mean, technically, I could show this as what he... Oh, no, he wears regular outfit there, too. Okay. Usually in his work clothes. Yeah, so he somehow got to his belongings at some point. Well. But there's just something seriously wrong with your testimony.
What? What are you talking about?
You said you couldn't get to any of your belongings because they were all at the ranch house, correct? A ranch house you were not allowed to go in.
That's right.
Well, that would imply that you still should be wearing your work clothes. Pardon me if I'm wrong. You don't look like they don't look like work clothes at all. Fuck. The defense has a point. The witness appears to be well dressed for court. I can't imagine he would want to sully those clothes during work. Well, what do you have to say about that?
Oh, of course. I can explain. It's simple. These are brand new. Yeah. On my way to the courthouse, I went to shopping on a nice outfit. After all, I couldn't very well show up to court dressed like a bum.
Well, we know that's not true because we had a picture of him wearing the exact same outfit. The freaking music as well. Oh, chocolate milk bomb. Sorry, I missed so many of just time zone problems in the finals. That's fine, honestly. I haven't been streaming much recently because of me finishing in Breath of the Wild. And I just kind of wanted a break after how long it took for me to beat that game on and off stream. Like, it was constantly like a full week of just nothing but playing it, and I just got tired of it very quickly. So thankfully this is like a nice decompressor for me. Yes, defense. Certain people have a modicum of respect for the court and show up dressed appropriately. What's that supposed to mean? This is my finest Zora suit. I like that. It's because it's blue. So you claim that you bought these clothes after the crime, is that correct?
Very much so. And this morning, in fact. Why do I need to repeat myself?
I accept this explanation. Fuck no! You're buying those clothes today is simply impossible.
What?
Oh? How can you claim so? Do you plan to play Tears of the Kingdom or OoT next? Next Zelda game that we're going to be playing is Cadence of Hyrule. Which is, it's technically an indie game mixed with Zelda, but it is Zelda. It's an official Zelda game. Just not Legend of Zelda, you know? That's the next one in the list. And it seems like it's relatively short as well compared to the other ones. But yeah, we're almost done with the Zelda marathon. I've got like the 4 games right here left to do. Unless another game comes out by the time we get there, you know, because that could happen. Defense, as you know, evidence is everything in court. Or prove that the witness couldn't have brought these clothes today. Or get out. Couldn't have bought them today. I mean, I've got a picture of him wearing them. Back in the past, so he already had them. But I don't know if I have anything that says that he couldn't have bought them today. Yeah, I'm gonna see if my original thought is correct. Yeah, okay, thank fuck. It's weird. Sometimes the writing can be like, do this one thing, and here's this proof of something completely different, but also kind of does prove that he's wrong.
You know, like, it's weird.
I would like to turn the court's attention to this. Ah!
Hmm? Why, that's one lovely pictograph. Ah, it reminds me of the idyllic days I spent with my grandson at the fishing pond. What about this pictograph defense?
Well, just look at what Mr. Ingo is wearing. This photo is from Malin's childhood, but Ingo is wearing the exact same outfit he has got on right now. He couldn't have bought it today.
Ah!
I mean, he could just say,
I bought a exact copy. Yes.
order, I will have order. Why, the defense is absolutely correct. I hope the witness has a good explanation for these. There, I think we finally got him. There's no way he can weasel out this time. What is he being accused of? Well, to start off with, Talon, the owner of the Lon Lon Ranch, if you know Zelda, he's in the game, but he's dead. He got apparently sawed by like this weapon, which is freaking brutal. And Malin was deemed the only possible culprit because she was inside the ranch, the only other person. But Ingo is being like super sneaky about shit, and we're assuming that he's the one who's behind all of this due to like money reasons, basically, which makes sense since I mean it follows with how he's actually is in the game. No way Malin is 27. I thought she was 13. I think this game takes place in like a future of Ocarina of Time, because even though Zelda is 14, it's said before that like her sister was killed in some strange plot, which I'm guessing is their like way of like saying like we would have like a future set of cases to go into what happened over there. But yeah, so this is like all a future of Ocarina of Time, basically. Oh, until someone weasels it out of him. Bah, isn't it obvious? Naturally, the witness knew he would need to wear nice clothes for the royal visitation. It was scheduled for that day. He brought them to the silo in advance, so he would quickly change before the royal visitation arrival. Oh. Oh.
Oh. Yes, of course. I just needed to be presentable after all. Can't look like a bum in front of the most important people in the kingdom.
Fuck you! Wait a minute, this is insane! What kind of kangaroo court is this? The prosecution keeps making up excuses on the spot. Ingo is clearly lying about buying clothes before the trial. He's definitely trying to hide something. Your Honor, surely you won't accept this blatant pure perjury.
Accept it, Judge. There's no other explanation. The prosecution's explanation does seem plausible.
What?
However, the fact that the witness didn't simply state it himself, and instead made up a lie about buying clothes is indeed very suspicious. Defense! Prosecution has posed that there's no other plausible explanation for this contradiction. What is your opinion on the matter? Can you, the defense, think of an alternate version of events?
It's pretty big. I really need to think this through.
Oh shit, we're doing like dual destinies? Oh shit, okay. Damn.
Ingo is acting really suspicious right now.
He's desperately trying to patch up holes in his testimony to conceal his real movements. It wasn't him then. Who was it though? Think about that, Judge. Oh my god, it's using the freaking gods from the cutscene in Ocarina of Time. That's great.
Why would he be doing that?
Ingo has a wardrobe at the silo. Ingo is the victim. Ingo is the murderer. I mean, was the murderer. If it's not Malin, Ingo is the only other person who could have done this. I have to assume he did, if I want to think Malin is innocent. With that in mind, why would Ingo change out of his work clothes? He got blood on them, or something. Got blood on them. When Ingo killed Talon, his clothes must have gotten blood on them. So he had to change it into something else to hide his involvement. But then why wouldn't the Sheikah force have found clothes in his house? Because they were burned. They were thrown in a fire. Ingo burned his clothes. Holy shit! That's it! It explains everything! Okay, so I suppose my original thought that he got perfume on himself and then had to burn it, which left like a horrible odor, was overreaching. Whatever. My first thought was golden. I believe I can offer an alternative explanation. Nonsense. Judge, the defendants spent far too long sitting in silence now. They clearly have nothing. My big nose knows it. And call for a quick ruling. And not only can I explain it, but in fact, the defense formally accuses the witness of the murder. No! It's simple. The reason he had to swap his outfit is why he's been lying about the circumstances ever since, is because it had been stained with the victim's blood. Preposterous! If there was any discarded bloody clothing nearby, the Sheikah force would have found them. We would be trying someone else for murder right now. Well, you're absolutely correct, prosecutor. Holy shit, how did you end up figuring out how to get through the corrupt forest? In Breath of the Wild, it was literally just, I immediately noticed that the fire embers were like moving randomly or like shifting when I got near them. And like they shifted in a direction of another fire, and it was like, okay, I need to follow where the wind is blowing. Which made sense. God, Ganon is really pogging right now. I kind of want to take that. I want to like take a screen grab of that and make that an emote. I don't know. Naturally, Ingo could have left his bloody clothes lying around. Couldn't have left them. So I disposed them by starting a fire with oil. Your Honor, cast your mind to the princess's last testimony. The princess's? Ah! Mysterious fire! Surely you jest! You yourself made sure that we all knew how meaningless the testimony was. Sorry. And yet, with this new context in mind, it gains completely new meaning. An empty bottle of lamp oil was found by a burned-out fire. Ingo used this lamp oil to quickly burn away his stained work clothes. And it's pretty easy to show by saying like, hey, look, he doesn't have his work clothes anymore. He won't be able to present them. Well, how about it, witness? My scenario explains everything. You killed Talon and tried to hide it.
This is... No! Hold on! What drivel are you spouting here? Me? Kill Talon? You already know it's impossible.
Immediately getting a testimony? Okay, good. Too busy for murder. I already know what this is gonna be.
Everything you said is wrong. I have no idea what you're going on about. I have an alibi for the time of the crime. I couldn't have done it. There's no way I could have completed those milk shipments, killed Talon, and tried to hide my involvement. The fire was just made for a quick breakfast. There's no mystery there. Stop trying to pin all this on poor old innocent Ingo.
Now, I shouldn't have to remind you, Defense, but you were yourself were surprised that Ingo was able to complete his shipment in time. Having even more things for him to do in the time is simply preposterous.
That's right. The great Ingo is efficient at his job, but not that efficient.
No, it had to be him. I'm sure of it. There just must be a trick at play here. Some kind of shortcut. I must find it. First, let's do our little pressing just to see if he gives us a different statement. What are your point rewards? Watch him choke? Oh, yeah. They're just like things that show up on the screen. I don't actually choke. It's just a way for people to make fun of me, basically.
I have no idea what you're on about.
Surely my scenario is more plausible at this point than these panicked attempts to fix your story.
What's more plausible isn't for you to decide, Defense. It's the judge that makes the final call, and as long as this alibi stands, I can't imagine him siding with you.
TTS for 1 point is insane. I used to have TTS on for everything, basically. I used to have like a TTS chat open so it would like read every line. But then some people were like, I don't like having my messages read out on stream. And also it just didn't work very well at some point, like it just stopped working properly. So I just gave it for people if they want to TTS, I'll get my attention basically.
Yes, a lot of loose ends have to be tied up before a decision can be made. Witness, please continue.
Alibi for the crime. Could you explain what the alibi is again?
With pleasure. At the time of the crime, I was busy preparing for the day's shipment of milk. That's hard work. I barely had enough time to get them done before the courier had to take them.
The shipments were inspected by the Sheikah Force and they were leaving the ranch. And as our resident detective told us, they were found to be fully loaded up with bottles of milk.
We already know that the milk was watered down, so yeah, we know how he shortcutted it.
That's right, the Sheikah Force itself has vouched for me. There's no way I could be the culprit.
Oh, I disagree. There has to be a way. There must be. So I'm assuming that is the statement we need to put the bottles on, or like present it. There's no way I could have killed. Oh, maybe it's this one. Would it really have taken that long to murder someone and burn some clothes?
It would have taken long enough to definitely make the scheme feasible. Infeasible.
Completing the shipments is a rather involved process. You have to milk the cows, clean the bottles, pour the milk into them, put them into crates, load them onto the wagon. I love working with the cows, but that part takes the longest because you only get little at the time. So as Dingo said, the whole thing probably does take a while. While Father and I work together to get it done in time for the courier's arrival.
Well, there you go,
Objection.
Defense.
Talon is too lazy to do this.
Talon is dead. There you go, Defense. Your own client even knows that is an unshakable truth.
Okay, so there's no way you could have completed the shipment and also do the killings. I have a feeling this is going to be like multiple things proven, so like he got the shipping order wrong. It said here like the milk got returned because it was misaddressed, so he did it like super quickly. And the milk has not got any taste, so he's watered it down. In that case, we have to make some way to find a way for him to finish the work faster. I just have to find it.
The fire was made to make quick breakfast. There's no mystery there.
So you had enough time for breakfast, but not enough to kill someone.
Eh? Yes, of course. The breakfast was cooking while I was kept working, so I quickly gobbled it up. There's no issue here. In fact, yes, I remember it even burned up a bit because I wasn't paying fully attention to it. That's why I had to go get the glass of water too, you see. I had to wash it down after.
What a convenient little explanation. But for all I know, he's actually did cook up his breakfast on a fire of burning blood-soaked cloves.
Ew. Ew.
Continue your witness. We don't want to hear about your culinary adventures.
Yeah, of course, of course. My point is that I've been telling you, is what I've been telling you this whole time. Stop trying to pin this on poor innocent Inger.
The only people who could have done it were you and Malin. And I know Malin well enough to know that she isn't the culprit. That leaves you as the perpetrator. Yes, yes, and we all know how much you value your friend. Let me remind you, though, the feelings do not matter here. You must show us solid evidence that puts Ingo's alibi into question or concede defeat. Is there any way he could have done the work faster?
I'm not sure. Would have been nice if there was though. I could have sleep a little longer every day.
Yeah, would have shared it with you if he knew of one. I think he would have shared it with you if he knew of one. What shortcut did you use, Ingo? So I'm gonna try and present it on this one. Yeah. Ah, but did you though? Did you really complete those shipments properly? Defense, I shouldn't have to remind you that the Sheikah Force checked the boxes thoroughly. They were definitely filled with milk bottles. Oh, I'm sure it looked that way. What are you getting at, Defense? Here you go, Your Honor. Huh? Milk for me? Oh, wait, hold on. What are you trying to do? Oh, god damn it. Go back to your Pog thing. I need to, like, take a actual, like, screen picture of that. And, like, grab it. So I don't have to, like, use it from the full screen of the stream. Are you trying to bribe the judge now? I didn't think you'd stoop so low. The Crown will be informed of this. Oh, it's nothing like that. All I'm asking is for His Honor to try tasting the milk. Just one little sip. This is highly irregular. But I am a big thirsty boy. I could use a drink. All this talking does one's throat dry, you know. Probably just tucked the least out of everyone here, though. Since the defense insists, I'll go ahead and take a sip. Is this what passes for milk these days? It just tastes like water.
Water?
I have to agree. This is definitely not standard milk. We've heard from the princess and the detective. Lon Lon Ranch is renowned for its quality of its products. Why is milk so underrated? I feel like no one ever drinks it. It's so good. It really is. Like, I have, like, sometimes I just get a carton just to drink it on its own. Because it genuinely is nice. The shame of it is that sometimes it can go off quicker than I'm expecting, and it sucks. Milkman, where did the milkman go? Whatever. The quality of the products. But there's no way people would say that about this lousy milk. It's disgusting milk. Who got milked for this? You know the cows speak in this world, right? They felt everything. Would you drink milk from a cow that could speak to you? These are the questions I think about every day. Bah, whatever. If it's unwashed mashes would know the difference between quality and garbage. What are you going with this defense? It's simple, you see. I received this bottle from Detective Impa, still unopened during the first recess. Take my word for it. I can't prove that, but trust me, I totally did. And it's the exact same bottle. And I didn't add any water to it to make this case, I swear. I'm like so honest right now. There was no milk shipments today, so it must have come from the one of Ingo's shipments from yesterday. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, hold on. I gotta take a pic of this. I gotta want to get like one of them with his eyes like shocked into like pinpoints. But I don't know. There probably is like a better shot. Cows speak to us in the real world. We just can't understand them. So what? You think they're moaning? Would you drink the milk of a cow that moaned when they got the milk? Also, I'm talking more about like actually understandable. Like if a cow just goes like, "Oh, you're drinking my milk. I made that especially for you. It's very nice." Although probably not. I got refrigerated, but it was real warm when it came out. It's true that Ingo couldn't have murdered Talon and also have completed the shipments on his own, unless he cheated. Ingo watered down the milk to get the shipments done in time. Order! Order! Yes, I suppose that would work. Indeed. All we had to do is milk fewer of the cows. Don't ask that question, please. I don't want to think about it. To save enough time without ruining the taste too much, I guess he used about 50-50 split of milk and water.
This is... No. That's... Talon.
Let me stop you right there. I will concede that something odd happened to the shipment, but all you have proven is that Ingo is a slacker.
How dare you!
Be quiet, you mongrel. Sure, Ingo watered down the milk. Doesn't make him a killer, though, does it? Well, no. But we do know that he definitely could have done it. We know he did go to the crime scene. And we know he did have the time an opportunity to kill Talon as well. Yet there is a vital element missing still. Let's put it in simple terms so even you, an idiot like you, could understand. Rebuttal? Oh god! The murder weapon. This is new. Holy shit. You lack a murder weapon. If Ingo was the murderer, then it couldn't have been the saw. And why is that? It's simple. If the ghost story about working on the fence is true, then she was using the saw while her father was being murdered. It couldn't have been in two places at the same time. Do I agree with this? Hold on. This is different, but okay. So he's saying that the murder weapon couldn't have been the saw if it was Ingo. If the girl's story was working on the fence is true, about what she saw about using the saw when her father was being murdered, then it could have been in two places at the same time. I mean, technically that is true, and there's not another saw on the premises shown here. Wood saw. I mean, it says wood saws, but I don't think saw, like, everything has S. I don't think there's, like, a trick here. I think it really is that there's just one saw. I believe that we're in complete agreement on this point. You do realize the problem it creates for you, right? I'm sure it can be all explained. As if. Very well. Then let's move on to why nothing else could have been the murder weapon either. Where could this supposed other murder weapon have even come from? Hold on. I mean, we have a ranch inventory, and he had the opportunity to clean anything he wanted. So yeah, there's a ton of knives he could have used. None of well, it's an irregular cut, right? So there's, I don't know what here could have been used to make irregular cuts. The saw obviously works, but I mean, scythes could work. I feel like, yeah, I feel like this is still the fact that he had the opportunity to clean as well. Also, axes on the premises. True. Yeah, I'll say that this is definitely pushable. Have you used any other old thing? Yeah, the answer, question or defense or discussion is over. I need to overthink this. Anyway, Inga could have gotten a weapon from will do. I'll worry about the exact details later. Anywhere he could have gotten a weapon from. And I guess, yep, ranch inventory. Have you forgotten the murder happened on the ranch? There's plenty of sharp things on site. Oh, that's simply impossible. Where this supposed weapon to come from? Okay. We checked all the sharp objects on the ranch and searched everyone. No fresh blood found anywhere else. I mean, I'm not even gonna push. It was clearly wiped. What? Come on! That's blatantly clear. He had the opportunity to wipe whatever he wanted. Fuck off. Or do I need to press first and then... Fuck off. Couldn't Ingo just... Oh, fuck you. Actually, fuck you. Wiped it off? Blood leaves traces. It's not that easy to get rid of. People like us aren't so sensitive, but other beings like Zoras can easily tell by smell. Naturally, the Sheik of Oz employs people just for this task. Also, Lon Lon Ranch focuses on selling horses and milk, and animals that aren't regularly butchered. There's no good reason why any of the tools would have fresh blood on them. Well, I guess that's a good point. I may have to rethink this. What? Come on. That's just a detail that came out of nowhere, I'll be honest. I know, like, yeah, it makes sense that he hid it in a crate that got sent off. But, fucking, come on. Ha, that's impossible, you see. Next argument. No items from the ranch inventory was missing, and that list is indisputable. I mean, yeah, technically. But if it wasn't from the ranch, then I don't know. How could you be so sure the inventory is accurate? Bah, use your head. There's a royal visitation scheduled for that day. The ranch owner needed everything to be in order. He would have doubled, even triple checked that list he wrote. I suppose he would have, but... Nothing was missing. I have to, like, push something. I mean, I'm assuming that maybe it's this, just to say that clearly what it went out and then it came back. No, okay. I swear to God if it's the other crates. No items for the ranch inventory was missing. It's indisputable. Nope. Okay. They're just stupid. Sure. No items from the ranch's inventory list were missing, and the list is indisputable. I don't have anything else. I mean, Nothing on here says that there's anything missing. I guess Malin did say that this is her blood, so that's why it wasn't wiped with this. Okay. Oh! Is that it? This is a checklist that was made on the 15th. So it's no longer, like, the murder was on the 16th. I'm pretty sure. Is that it? The inventory list itself is false. Oh, also, he's the one that wrote it. Duh. Oh, fascinating. What exactly makes you question the virility of this document? It would be another piece of evidence, something about the inventory itself. Oh. Can't just go around making such general statements, Defense. I mean, the fact it was written by Ingo himself. Look here, the one who compiled the list was Ingo himself. He could have easily falsified the court as what counts as part of his plan. Okay, I need to try and get a screen grab of him, like, pinpoint eyes. It doesn't matter! Okay, I know what we want to try to get to, but God, fuck, it really fights you. Nothing could have left the ranch. Okay, there you go. Are you really sure nothing could have left the ranch? What about the few little shipments of the milk? Preposterous! Have you forgotten that shipments had already been checked by the Sheikah forces before they were allowed to leave? That's true, but there was a place the Sheikah could have overlooked. What dense name are you babbling about? What are you talking about? Bog standard crates here, boy. I mean, was the weapon hidden inside one of the milk bottles? And it was addressed wrongly so he could get the milk bottle back. That's why he did it on purpose. Alright. Not exactly vast dungeons full of nooks and crannies and stuff for things into, are they? Where could they have missed the murder weapon? It's simple. They overlooked the contents of the crates. The contents of the bottles. There's one place inside the crates that the Sheikah wouldn't have checked thoroughly without ruining the shipments. Okay, I got... Ah, damn it, I can't, like... Wait. Okay, there we go, I got a good picture of him now. Let me just take a nice little pic of that. Oh, damn it. He had, like, a better shot. Damn it! I need to try my best to get a good picture. That's right, Ingo put the murder weapon inside one of the bottles to conceal it from the search. That does seem plausible. Oh, just wait just a moment. The weapon in the milk bottle couldn't have gone unnoticed. Someone would have reported it. Okay, let's be careful and press. But he needs a screenshot of his eyes. Don't worry about it. How can you be so sure? You even know how much milk an average milk bar uses each day? Those shipments would have suddenly been covered up, completely used up by now. Anyone drinking from a bottle would have found it for sure, choked on it even if it took a large enough swig. It would be this huge scandal. Well, he's right about that, but he's missing vital information. Oh shit, I can get it from there. Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna try and get it from this. Hold on. There we go. I think that's a good one. There we go. That's nice. I got it. I'm gonna try and make that an emote, I think. Just a pog. Ganon pog. Alright. So yeah, he did it on purpose. He's the freaking Zelda sound as well. You would be correct that the weapon showed up in someone else's milkshake would cause quite a stir. If the milk actually made it to the milk bar, that is. You see, I overheard something very interesting tale over the recess. A word that got sent from the ranch not long ago, that one of the shipments was returned unopened due to being misaddressed.
Oh, no.
Indeed, if you recall, Ingo is the one who handled all of that. Now that's strange. The ranch supplies in the same milk bar. The ranch supplies the same milk bars every day. Even if he had messed up the sheet address a little, the couriers would have known where the shipment was meant to go. How could he have bungled it that badly? Almost as if he didn't want anyone receiving that bottle of milk with the murder weapon in it. Oh! I bet Ingo expected the box to stay in the shipping limbo for a while longer. How unfortunate for him that the postal service was on its game today. Maybe because they were worried it would start to smell.
I believe this calls for us to investigate these boxes of milk more closely. Soldiers, have these boxes received from the ranch immediately.
Damn, that's awesome. All my freaking hearts back, jeez.
This is slander! Why would I kill Talon? Sure, he's a bit of a layabout, but he did give me a job. Why would I want him dead?
The motive? That's simple. Why, I'm surprised you're even asking about it. This is the evidence easily explains your motive. The very inheritance document you brought to the court's attention states the following. In case of the tenor's death, his daughter, Malin of Lon Lon Ranch, will inherit the ranch. Unless she was unable to oversee it, in which case it will be divided between the crown and the remaining employees. Oh!
What?
You'd not only killed Talon, but you decided to frame Malin for the crime as well, so you would be the one to inherit the part of the ranch. That's why you volunteered to work at the silo all day. It would give you an alibi so that Malin would be the only possible culprit. And of course, you knew about the royal visitation in advance. You knew Malin was going to go back to the ranch house to prepare for before they arrived. Perfect little setup for the royals to find her next to the dead body.
No! 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 What are you talking about? Talon signing the ranch over to me? Preposterous!
Did he really not know? I guess he really was. It was Dragmeyer who procured the actual document, not him. Your Honor!
What is it, my little baby boo? The box you requested is here. Already? That was pretty fast.
Apparently the team at this ranch had already noticed something awry on their own. The box arrived just as they were about to rush out the courier to deliver the message. Well, let's see for ourselves then, shall we? The part of the shipment that proves my case is... Oh my. Here it is, from the bottle, a sight with a slight red tint of milk. That's actually pretty freaking horrible to get killed with. A serrated butter knife? That's what I see, like, Jesus Christ. Looks like some kind of serrated knife. That explains the irregular wound quite nicely.
How could those Shiga idiots have missed this?
Sure, the milk was pure white when they first checked it. It took the whole day for the blood to dissolve in it. Either way, no matter how you slice it, it proves my theory right.
Oh, I've had it! Fine, fine, you wanna know why? You wanna know why I really killed that scumbag?
No! No! What are you...
So, you admit it?
Yes, yes, I admit it. Why would you do... What would you do if one day, after years of backbreaking labor, despite putting your all into the ranch, you were thrown away like rubbish, without any reason, fired, farewell, we don't need you anymore.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, don't lie, I heard it all. I was just returning back from another day of spine-wrenching work, and lo and behold, what's this? Malin and Talon talking behind my back. I heard it all. We'll let him go after the visitation. We can handle things without him. And so, after volunteering to work on the shipment, I quietly slipped out of the... while the girl was busy and shanked the good-for-nothing slacker. You should have seen his face. He didn't expect it at all. So yes, Malin, I killed that lazy bummer you called a father. And he deserved it.
Oh! Order! Order! The witness will cease this boasting over such a terrible deed. It's a bread knife, duh. Huh. I see it as a butter knife. Wait, hold on. I think we've heard enough. Soldiers, take him away!
Hold it. Wait a moment. I gotta, like, make him feel even worse about it by telling him what actually happened and, like, making him want to fucking end himself. He really fucking deserves it. Wait a moment. Ingo.
Yes, girl. Want to apologize for what you've done?
Apologize? Me? You're horrible. We weren't planning to fire you at all. You completely misunderstood what we were saying.
We've had so much work recently.
Well,
Know what goes with the royal visits. How it goes with the royal visits. Always a busy time. Gotta make sure that everything's in tip-top shape. I do worry somewhat about old Ingo, though. He's been complaining about his back recently. Do wish he'd take a step back and relax sometime.
maybe we should convince him to take a vacation. Vacation?
Oh my god, why are my words not competent? Well, now that's an idea. It'll do him a good for what to do for him. I'll discuss with him after the visitation. After things calm down, we can handle things without him.
That's... You were planning what? A vacation for me? And I did... No! No, it can't be so! Please say it isn't so!
Man, those chickens are really going for his dick. Jesus. Damn. Are we gonna get crying Inga from Majora's Mask? We have witnessed today the results of a truly horrifying misunderstanding. But misunderstanding or not, what you have done is unforgivable.
Talon was a kind man, beloved by all who had the good fortune of crossing his path. His loss will be felt not only by the ranch, but across all Hyrule.
The killer turned out to be an utterly pathetic man with delusions of grandeur. I mean, look at him!
An utter idiot dressed like a clown.
He's really laying into him.
I bet he's just upset that he lost.
Execute people in Hyrule. Send the cuckoos to peck off his dick. The prosecution's rant aside, I think it's time to declare today's verdict. This is just a formality, but will the defendant please step up to the stand? Oh, Ganon's fucking aura farming. He's like, I'm not even gonna fucking look at this. Young miss, I'm very sorry for the situation you found yourself in. I'm very glad you have appeared to have such a good attorney as a friend.
I wouldn't have chosen anyone else.
Ah, thanks! I'm too busy aura farming. Care. Now then, without further ado, in the name of the goddess Hylia and the sacred lands of Hyrule, I hereby find Malin of Lon Lon Ranch. Squiggle squiggle.
Hey!
Court is adjourned. Wow. March 17th, 12:32. Hyrule Grand Court, Defendant Lobby number 3.
We did it! I suppose so.
Yes, Ingo's outburst kind of soured the mood, huh?
I don't ever think I could ever forgive Mr. Ingo for what he's done.
That's fair enough, honestly. Really, though, you shouldn't think too much about that now. You're free! Yeah, your dad's dead, and now you're gonna have to take over the ranch, and everything fucking sucks for you now, but, like, you can be free doing that. Time to celebrate.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Excellent work. I knew you'd pull it through. Oh, thanks. I couldn't have done it without you, really. So, thanks. Now, that's not quite right. If you want to thank someone, I'm not the one who deserves it the most. Your Highness. I thought you were going back to Hyrule Castle. Which strings did Impa have to pull to get you here?
But then I realized I should apologize for what I did personally. It's an honor. There is no need to bow. Not after what I'd done. Really, if not for my status, I would have probably been carted off to prison alongside that angry little man.
Perjury's, pretty serious, so that's probably not entirely wrong. As usual, you do not give yourself enough credit, Your Highness.
How could you say that, Detective? I almost condemned an innocent person to prison.
Oh, he's getting prison? Damn, you guys are really fucking benevolent in this world, huh? Zelda's a 1 in Ocarina of Time. Well, they actually altered her appearance in this one. And the real Zelda is dead. So... oops. She's a child, by the way. Careful what you say. Yes, there are some things that you should think twice about in the future. But it's all thanks to you that the young lady there is over free. You did everything, Princess. I'm here to tell you that you were the one who saved the day. Congratulations. Continue to constantly tell people that they are guilty. Make up lies. Because ultimately, you did the thing that saved everyone in the end. Simply put, that is entirely Zelda. In its own right. Just fuck up until the very end where everything gets fixed by Deus Ex Machina.
Huh?
Come on, attorney, show Her Highness what I'm talking about. Yeah.
The battle?
Well, it's true. Without knowing about the fire, we wouldn't have had any proof to substantiate our claims.
And then, really, your obviously fake testimony was...
Ouch!
I just stepped on my foot. Your obviously false testimony helped us out a lot.
Ouch! My poor little toes.
She's 10 in Link of the Wild. Link of the Wild series? Okay.
Ember just stepped on my foot.
Well, there you have it. In any case, I'm sure Miss Malin isn't too upset.
You kind of like condemned me to death, and you've got like the privilege of being like royalty, so they could have just beheaded me right then and there because you told them to. But sure, I guess I'll fucking forgive you, because like if I don't, I'll probably get beheaded. That's the fucking life you live. Sure.
Dan Hut. Breath of the Wild. Ages of Calamity. Because of the Kingdom. She's not fucking 10. No fucking way. She's not 10. That's stupid. She sounds like she's at most she sounds like she's 15 or 16. I'd give it that. But 10 is bullshit. The Japanese don't understand what 10-year-olds actually look like. If that's what they think they look like. They have orders to escort the princess back to the castle they made, yet they... Ah, just in time. Farewell, your highness. Ah! So they left. Now then, listen to me. I know that I'm perhaps being too lenient on the princess, but tough times are ahead. The princess will need all the confidence she can get to lead the kingdom through them.
She needs to learn to take responsibility for her actions too, though.
And she will. Sometime, I guess.
Huh?
The Highness is in for quite a rather unpleasant afternoon today, I imagine. The urgency in which she has just been exhorted out of here isn't coincidental.
What? The king's going to scold her?
At the very least. Now then. Oh. Okay, you mean she's a 10 out of 10 in Breath of the Wild. I mean, she's definitely got, like, some of the most tightest outfits on imaginable, and it's like, Jesus fucking Christ in some scenes. But, if I'm being honest, sometimes it could get kind of tedious constantly hearing her go, Link, Link, save us. Link, you are the one who can defeat Ganon. Link, I hate my father. Link, I am not good at this goddess stuff. Link, do you understand that I really hate goddesses stuff? Link, I want to work with the robots. Link, Link, I'm sad. Link, I'm not happy. I'm very sad. She's very annoying, but she's hot. I mean, I guess. I don't know. I'd have to like put her against like Twilight Princess's Zelda and other Zeldas. Tetra's cool, you know? Yeah, I'd have to think about it. Now then, my duties call, unfortunately, so I must be off. Again, you did well today, both of you. I trust that you are able to rely on you in the future court proceedings as well.
I'll try my best.
Zelda isn't in Twilight Princess, is she? Yes, she fucking is. She's just not very apparent, but she does actually show up in a couple scenes, actually. She has her own model and everything. Like, Smash Bros. Brawl? It was the one with Subspace in. That's the one that took the Zelda appearance from Twilight Princess. It was the same for Link and Ganondorf, I believe, as well. Like brown hair Zelda, basically. That's all I ask. The unpleasant prosecutor seems to be making his way over here, so I must be excusing myself post-haste. Farewell. Uh-oh. You!
Hello! Nice day we're having, isn't it?
Tell me. Now! Where's that blasted detective go? You have to have my reputation tarnished in such a way by some novice attorney from the boonies. That fucking exists? Here? Okay. Dramatic much? He looks like he's ready to burst from anger.
Don't be such a sore loser. You lost. Deal with it. Yeah, we got the right verdict. Doesn't make you feel a little glad?
Yes, I suppose there is some worth in that. What transpired is most unfortunate, but I can only offer my condolences. Remember that it was the meddling of that idiot princess and the stupidity of the blasted detective that led you to your arrest. So if you have any grievances, take it up with them. I suppose there is some truth to what he's saying. Speaking of the detective, it appears she has fled from me like a cuckoo on fire. Mark my words, she will regret what she has done for generations. I'm wondering how hot Melon would be if in a modern rendering. I mean, there are like the remakes of Ocarina of Time and stuff, but yeah, in Breath of the Wild, probably would look pretty cool. Suppose maybe the closest you'd get is Marin from Hyrule Warriors. That's like the closest I think you'd get. I think that's what her name was. I have to take guesses, really. It's been so long since I played with Link's Awakening.
Well, that sure was something. I don't know if he was being sincere or if he just wanted to shift blame onto someone else.
I wouldn't say he's entirely blameless. Never mind that. Do you think you'd be alright running by the ranch by yourself? Of course I'll come to visit. I have my attorney duties, so...
I'll get in touch with the castle and see if they can spare some men to work at the ranch. So as my father may have seemed, he really did prepare me to take over one day, and he taught me well. I'm sure that the animals are well taken care of, just as I always have.
That's the spirit.
I believe in you. I really want to thank you for bringing the truth to the light. If it wasn't for you, I don't even want to think about what would have happened.
Don't mention it. I'm just glad everything worked out in the end.
Yee!
So in the end, I ended a very personal case for me. It felt like a weight has been lifted off my back. Malin continued working at the ranch, hoping to make it prosper even beyond what her father was able to accomplish. I didn't really think much about it, but the days following were some of the happiest I've ever lived in a long time. Little did I know that a terrible tragedy would shock the entire kingdom, and I'd find myself smack dab in the middle of it. That's a legend for another day. Man. What a journey. This was really good, by the way. Like, so unbelievably good. It's clear like they were also like setting up possibilities of them doing newer extra cases in the future. Since they set up like the whole Princess Zelda dying and future occurrences with like Ganondorf taking over Hyrule and maybe having his Wind Waker kind of motivations of seeing like the royalty being incompetent and unworthy of rule or something like that, you know? I feel like they really did like set up things really well to continue if they wanted to. It's genuinely so good. This is such a treat. Like that, yeah, you can see they even added characters from Spirited Tracks. I don't know if they showed up in Phantom Hourglass, but I'm pretty sure it was Spirited Tracks that they showed up in. Yeah, the music was all good. The mystery was actually pretty good too. I got stuck sometimes because I wanted to like explain things in a different way. And I feel like it could have been the testimony that you were refuting evidence onto could have been worded better. But whatever. And even this music's great. I'm glad we got like a credit scene as well. It didn't just immediately cut and say like, get ready for the next one, or something like that. It's so good as well. Like, it actually, all of this being inside the Ocarina of Time engine. Character, like, it all really fits in well with the Ace Attorney. Like, they did all of the Ace Attorney stuff really well. Like, it all seamlessly fit in super good. They even added, like, their own mechanic of arguing with Ganondorf, the prosecutor. In this kind of, like, new kind of debate kind of moment. Where you had to, like, either accept what he was saying or refute it. Granted, it kind of forces you to refute it if you can. A nice little scene of them. Helen's grave.
Thanks to you for making the game, silly.
The end. Yeah, that was absolutely... I haven't played a lot of Zelda fan games. This is the kind of thing that I love when it comes to fan games. Complete new concepts. This was like clearly made with a fan of Zelda and Ace Attorney. Like, it was done so well both ways. It wasn't just like stealing the cases of Ace Attorney and just like putting them over a Zelda vignette. Like, it was all clearly like really well thought out. I genuinely really liked it. Scene select is now unlocked. Extra 1. Ooh. Let's see what the extra is. Wait, let's see. Meanwhile, somewhere else. Ooh. What? Super Talon game. Man, we're sending Talon to heaven, aren't we? Never mind, he's dead. That's the end. Talon died. Well, that was morbid. Anyway, yep. I highly recommend this to anyone. I've seen like a lot of Ace Attorney creations as well, in terms of like, I've seen series online that have Ace Attorney styled cases in like a different world or different characters in it. I've seen fan games of Ace Attorney. I think this is probably one of the really high up ones. Obviously, it's only got one case, but I think it's better that they have one case that works really well and looks really nice and shows exactly just how well they could have put this together, compared to making 5 really rushed cases that have super lots of plot holes and just ultimately aren't that good. Like, yeah, this is everything I could want in this kind of thing. So I'm glad that we got to the end of here. Well, you sent him to hell instead. I mean, who knows? Anyway, that was Hero of Law. A nice little distraction of the main series. Thanks for watching. Thanks for everyone that came by. Choco Milk, for instance. I'm gonna quickly just check. Malk came by and Viet Cong fighters, although I don't know if you stuck around or if you just lurking. I'm assuming that you're lurk. I can't see who's actually viewing my channel right now. I choose not to look because I'm sad. There you are, Malk. So yeah, thank you all of you for watching. We will not do Zelda straight away. I think I'm gonna like try a couple games alternative before we get back into the Zelda marathon. But I will see you then. Take care and farewell.